Hello. And welcome to Talks Around the Teapot.
He's not part of this.
Okay, Lyndon.
Hello.
Hi.
Let's begin.
Let's begin.
What a great start.
First of all, apologies, I suppose, for the fact that we lost our DM camera for the last 3 episodes.
Oh,
Do you not know this? Oh my
no,
god,
I wasn't
Morne.
able to make it to.
God, yeah, of course you weren't. So because of our current filming setup, we can film 3 camera angles at once, which is obviously how we've been doing it for Act 3. And we keep playing around trying to get 4 so we can have close-ups on everyone. Something went wrong and we didn't get any DM footage for the last 3 episodes, which is absolutely tragic because it means I'm the only person who really saw Lyndon's performance properly during that Frederick bit. We'll get to that later, which is really sad, but also I guess special for me, because Lyndon did such beautiful work in these 3 episodes, and it's sad. We will have that fixed by now. That's not a permanent thing. We were just silly. However, if anybody would like to give us money for another camera or a better camera, we will be able to do 4 close-ups at once, which is sort of our goal. That would be great. Any wealthy benefactors out there who want to help us. The Viscount Edward Tullingham, if you're out there, we need you. But anyway, that's just my little
Support us.
Breakfast.
Or you could just
Stay
support
alive.
us by watching and
yeah.
agreeing with
that,
the
yeah.
things I'm going to say.
Oh God.
Oh no, we're all gonna get shouted at now.
Not shouted at, just a couple of looks.
I was saying earlier
strong
how
words.
I'm not actually expecting to be shouted at, but that
That face says something different.
The
Mom.
eyebrow twitch.
I don't know, what did I do wrong?
Well, we'll
what
find
did I
out when we
do?
get to it.
What did I do?
My very first note is Rosalind reverting to old ways.
I forgot that that's at the episode we're starting on.
Yeah. The one that made me feel like I wanted to leave the room, but I didn't want to draw attention to myself.
Yeah. Episode 69.
It's meant to be fun.
The
That's a
fun,
funny number.
happy
Yeah.
episode
That's a funny number.
where the girls broke up.
Yeah, they did do that.
The episode that was just an
Yappa,
hour
yappa,
of the
yappa.
girls breaking
No
up in the
dice
most
rolls.
horrible and sad way possible.
I disagree. I think
that's
it
true,
could
that's
have
true, that's
been.
true.
It could have been so much worse.
Well, because the thing with that episode is that me and Maijai thought it was going to be a lot worse than it was.
Yeah.
I think Rio's going to remind us that it was still bad.
It was still bad. It wasn't good. It was so much better than I had prepped for it to be.
Yeah, so much better than it could have been.
Yeah.
It's the whole thing of it was the Rosalind has the way they set up the bedroom
Yep.
with all the flowers.
Oh God, that made me want
Yeah.
Favorite pastries.
Bad.
Maybe all very nice for Talia. And then the face you pulled when you kind of
Oh,
came in to see that. It was truly a case of it was
rough.
I don't know how to describe the face, but it was a combination. It was
Horror.
horror and also slight disgust.
Disgust. Yeah, that's what I felt.
Yeah.
Horror and disgust.
Yeah.
Which was very Rosalind trying to do nice things for her parents. And I didn't like how much of that I immediately felt.
Yes. Sorry.
It didn't set up Rosalind for a good first part of that.
You don't have to apologise for your innate reaction to something.
No, because that was the correct response from Talia,
yeah.
Valid. It was just horrible.
It could have been so easily that Talia went in with the plan, I'm going to have this conversation, saw what Rosalind had done, and then changed her mind, being like, oh no, actually I love her and she loves me.
Look at all the nice things you did.
Yeah,
Talia was
exactly.
actually really strong to not fall for it.
Yeah.
You're so right.
Yeah.
That was good of Talia. But that whole thing where Rosalind prepped the room could have been a lot worse as well.
What? That was this thing
No, it's not a thing. It's just I sort of had a feeling that that's the type of thing she would do because that's her response to things. Because she felt things were weird, obviously, where we'd left off. And so it was always just going to be to what level she did something.
Yeah.
So the note was quite bad. The note could have not been a thing, but it was the list that she wrote. The prepping the room was, I think, kind of the basic of what that could have been. I think there was potentially a version that was a lot worse, where she tried to make it more of like a date night, you know? That, you know, not like a date night, but
No,
kind of let's reconnect and like have
but
time together.
there was a hint of that, because that was like when Talia walked in, she was really like,
yeah.
are we
Well,
meant to sit down and have a nice evening? Like,
yeah, there was an element of that. And I think the bit I was very uncomfortable with, that could have been a lot worse, and I'm glad it wasn't, was that Rosalind had like borrowed some new clothes,
Yeah.
and that's how that came across. Which like was at the level it was just still that like, well, we're trying to make this home. That's what it ended up being, which I'm really glad about. I think there was a version where it was very early Act 1 Rosalind just trying to like cover everything up and be like, oh, but look how nice everything is, you know? Which it was to an extent, but it also was, it did end up playing her, it did feel more of a just like, well, we can try and make it like homey and comfortable at least. But yeah, it could have been a lot worse. But it still wasn't good. Like, that was still a bad thing for her to do.
They've been continuously saying it could have been a lot worse to kind of cover up how bad it was.
it's not to cover. We acknowledge it was bad.
But you keep saying it could have been worse, and yes, it could have been worse.
Well, I think the thing
it
is,
was tough.
It was, but I think the thing, like, we were prepared for it to be
Yeah.
so, like, we thought
Yeah.
that it was going to be so
Yeah.
much worse, that it was a relief at how, even though it was still bad, it was a relief that it wasn't what we thought it was going to
Yeah.
be.
You know something funny? They didn't know how much worse it could have been.
Yeah.
They just saw how bad it was.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
They're like, what the fuck do you mean it could have been worse?
Yeah.
It could have been. There's been so many times where before the filming of the session, Tay's come up to me and be like, "It's gonna get so bad, Rio." And I've been like,
I had
"Yes,
that a
it
couple
is."
times as well.
Sorry, bro. I was right.
I was quite fearful, actually. He kept on like making comments about how bad it's going to be. I'm like, oh, someone's going to die. Like, what the fuck?
No, just
Well, that was a
emotionally.
potential.
Yeah.
What?
Well, not either of us, but there was
Oh.
a chance that it got so horrific that Talia went out and started, like, killing people.
There was a chance that Talia was like, watch, look,
Yeah.
see how bad I am.
So, to jump ahead
Like,
slightly, there was, like, a bit where...
I can't believe this.
where
So deranged.
Talia was like, there's never any reason, or like Rosalind was saying, like, there's always a reason that I can understand. Like, Talia was going to look out in the corridor, and if anybody was there, was
Oh,
going
no,
to,
I
like,
did know that.
grab them by the throat and hit them against the
Yeah.
wall.
Choke out Zach. Yeah, that'd be great.
What the fuck?
Just to, like, prove a
Zach would
point and be
quite
like,
that, actually.
Well, I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe not from Talia.
Maybe not. No.
Jesus.
Um,
Yeah, brutal.
Rosalind has wrote a list of all the good things Talia has done, followed up immediately by Talia has wrote a list of all the bad things Talia has done.
Yeah.
yeah.
That
list.
list.
She didn't write a list.
No.
I
But she
meant
had
to.
been mentally like
Yeah.
keeping it
Yeah.
very clearly. Because she said in the episode, she was like, I've been trying to write a list, but I can't. Like,
Yeah.
I was going to, or I wanted to, or
Yeah.
something.
From my perspective, I saw the list. I didn't have my glasses on, so I couldn't. I did see like a couple. I remember seeing
From your
funeral.
perspective, it was all.
Yeah, it was a bit blurry. That's my perspective. But I saw it was like. I think I made a comment because you like it was like 2 pages and then you
3
turned
pages?
3 pages. You turned it over double-sided. It was
Oh, yeah, it was like 2
double-sided.
sheets of paper, but it was double-sided.
Yeah.
It was
Listen, if
Yeah.
there's one thing about Demons and Daughters, we'll be
We'll have a
writing stuff on
3-page
paper.
letter.
Like,
It
no,
was-
that was awful.
yeah, I'm sorry about that. As the player who plays Rosalind, I apologise profusely for her actions. It's, there's nothing I can say. Like, that was bad. That was a bad thing to do. But she, as always, as all the bad things Rosalind does, had good intentions, and it didn't help.
Rosalind has good intentions.
But I think with the list for her, it was just. It's so hard to be on Teapot and try and like explain Rosalind's mental state.
I love it because it's like, come
You
on.
really just try like you really sit and watch me for so long try and work out like how to word things, because where we left off with her, you know, she knew Talia wasn't okay. She knew Talia was struggling, and the conversation they'd had before, like a few episodes ago, Rosalind left not really understanding a tiny bit more than she had before, but still not understanding. And it was just her instinct to help to be like, okay, well, you don't see yourself as a good person. You don't remember all the good things you've done. I do. Maybe at some point, like, you know, when you're wanting to be better, or when you're struggling with that again, maybe you can look at this and it'll be a reminder that you're capable of goodness and you're capable of things that people can see and feel as good. And from Rosalind's limited perspective at that point in time, that's what made sense for her to do.
Because this is my thing.
And she was really like, you don't have to read it now if you're struggling. It just might be helpful later on, you know?
The thing that's so sad is if things were how Rosalind thought they were, that would be a really nice
Absolutely,
thing,
yeah.
You know?
Uh-huh.
If Rosalind was correct, that'd be great.
Yeah. Which is what's so sad about all of it. Like, so many of her things are really like, if it was what she thought it was, these would be really lovely things to do. Mm-hmm. But, like, she's just not seeing what it actually is, and that makes it so sad.
Yeah.
It's really, because it was really tough for me to watch when, not tough in a way of like I had to turn away and turn off, but it was very much just the case of like...
emotionally hard.
It's just Talia saying, no, I did these things because I wanted to, and Rosalind responding with, no, you're wrong. Yeah. And it's like, actually, Talia is being outright honest about how they're feeling, and you responding with, no, you're wrong, is actually incredibly bad.
Yeah. And
I can understand from it's what Rosalind wants to be true. Mm-hmm. It's not what is true, it is what Rosalind wants to be true.
Yeah, and I think when it got to that point, and that's how she was responding, it's because at that point she knew, you know? Like, I actually think it's interesting because the conversation we had earlier set it up very interestingly, because I think Rosalind, on a level, accepted and realised it very, very quickly in this conversation. Much quicker than I thought she would. It took her a long time to, like, accept it, but she knew it very quickly, and that's why she started going into just, like, panic child trauma response of, like, no, you're wrong, that can't be true. Like, that cannot be true. Like, there was just nothing else she could say because she knew there wasn't a real excuse. She knew she couldn't make a real response. There couldn't be anything other than just this, like, panicked pleading, like, no, well, that has to be wrong. Because, like, there was nothing else she could say because she knew there was nothing else she could say, you know?
Yeah.
Which just sucked.
Yep.
It sucked. It sucked really bad. Talia said a lot of things.
She did.
She's not always my friend and I wouldn't always care. I don't care that we found Harold.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's wild. Mm-hmm. But it's true, though. Like, Talia and Agatha, they're either, like, besties or they hate each other.
Because this was my thing, is, you know when you're playing and you have that, like,
awareness.
That vague awareness, like, up here somewhere that watches it back.
You sat next to Maijai when Talia's being like, well, when Rosalind's, like, begging for anything, and she's like, no, I know you would care if Agatha died. Like, if Agatha had died, you would care. You can't sit there and tell me you wouldn't. And Talia just being like, well, I wouldn't always care. Like,
she's like...
That's...
I don't have.
I think I did do like an. I think I did do like an.
There was a moment where you said that, and I saw from the other room. I just saw you go.
Do you know what I was thinking about? I don't know where Agatha was in the house. You rolled, didn't you, to see if you heard any of it, and you didn't.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah. I was in the kitchen.
There was a brief moment after the episode finished filming when I was like, I wonder if Agatha heard, and I was just imagining hearing bits from another room and just hearing, I wouldn't always care if Agatha died.
Yeah, because I rolled...
What did I do?
I rolled perception.
Why am I relevant to your couple's argument? Like, leave me out of it. I know I wanted to be involved, but like, now
not like this.
Leave me out.
Not like this.
Because I rolled perception with disadvantage because I was in a different room. I got a 19 and a 20. But then reasoning it, I was like, but I was in the kitchen, you were in the bedrooms, in the basement. Like, so with a natural 20, I think Agatha probably could hear murmuring. But
I feel like you could hear that, like, there was...
the tone.
Yeah. Like, you could hear the vibe of it, and you could hear that something was going on.
Something bad. They were having a bad conversation.
Just hearing, like...
Yeah. I think
that's what you heard.
Yeah.
That is literally what you heard. That was great. That was perfect.
It did make me laugh because, like, there's a Teapot so long ago where I talked about, do you think I care that we found Harold?
Oh, yeah. I'm gonna make a TikTok where I put them side by side.
But I do think...
Talia did really well.
I do... I mean, it's not the same with Agatha because I do think Agatha would care all the time. But I do think the statement of, like, we're not always friends and I wouldn't always
that's
care.
true.
Like, Agatha would care if Talia died, but like past that, I'm not sure how much she would care sometimes. You know? Like if anything happened to Talia, I feel like
Being
sometimes
the only
Agatha
good
would
person
just
on
be
this
like,
show is rough.
okay, you know?
I mean,
It's almost like growing up rich is kind of makes you.
yeah.
bit.
I
Dick.
don't know. I wouldn't know until that happened. But like, I mean, Agatha didn't take like almost like aiming her gun at you and shooting you. She didn't take that well.
That's true.
So
Yeah, I think Agatha
But then
cares
that's
more
something
than
that she
Talia.
has to actively do.
so true.
You know?
Yeah.
I'm saying
Talia
if
just got
I think if Agatha killed Talia, she would feel horrid about
Yeah.
it. If Talia just died, I think Agatha would be like, oh no, at the funeral.
She was my best friend.
What I will say though,
What the fuck, guys?
We had some good times together.
We had
care about anyone!
we had times together, and sometimes they were good.
And sometimes they were not.
what I will say
Resting.
is I am, even though it was so bad, I do think that Talia, it's like
I'm proud of Talia.
I'm proud of her for the fact that like she did stick to what is true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As far as I remember.
Yeah.
And one of the bits that I'm really like, no, you're right, because I think she hadn't realised it until she said it, was, but I care because of how it affects me.
Yeah.
Rather than like whatever the rest of it
Yeah.
was. Because that was really like, I think she like fully
Realised.
registered it at that point of like, no, I literally only care about things that impacted me. And if Agatha wasn't in my life, like I wouldn't care.
Yeah.
You're telling me that someone in Regency England, raised as an only child, raised as a son in a rich family, is selfish? What?
That's the crux. isn't it?
News to me.
But that was a really good moment, and I'm really proud of Talia. That was one of the things that really helped Rosalind understand as well. I mean, obviously, for Rosalind, she did know what Talia was trying to say quite early on, and she was just so scared and like couldn't let that be true, because that's like her whole worldview falling apart basically. But one of the first moments, because there were quite a few moments throughout that you can see Rosalind realise. One of the first ones I think was that, or the bit about the fact that you only care about things that affect you. Because it was,
because there's a bit where I say I care about like the two people in my life.
Yeah, and it's because in that bit I think is when she starts talking about, I don't care about saving the world, I don't want to save the world, I just want to find my dad and go home. And that was the first moment Rosalind consciously had the thought countering what Talia was saying of like, well, that's stupid. Like Rosalind was literally like, well, there won't be a world for you and your dad to go home to then.
But,
like that, but she couldn't say that obviously in the moment because it was lots of other things. But that was one of the first moments she was really like, well, so much of it was just like, what are you talking about? Like, what are you saying? Because Rosalind, not only on the level of like, oh, she's idolized Talia into this like perfect figure, but also just in the Rosalind is a good person. And a lot of the things, like she's actually such a good person that a lot of the things Talia is saying, she couldn't even wrap her head around as concepts. Like the concept of I don't care about saving the world was so foreign, and like how can anyone understand what that means? Like how can somebody not care about that? Like that is not possible. That doesn't make any sense, you know?
All I'm saying is that if another god or a deity came up to like Talia and was like, hey, you and the people you care about will be safe in the destruction of the rest of the world, Talia would take it.
Probably, yeah.
Rosalind wouldn't.
Yeah.
Agatha, they'd be like, hey, you do what you want to do.
Yeah.
Agatha would just be like, why are you talking to me?
I think you got the wrong house. I don't make decisions. I don't know.
Okay.
Is that an okay yes or an okay what?
I tell you what, guys, we talk a lot of shit about Rosalind and Lilith. It's a good thing Lilith went for Rosalind.
So true.
That's all I have to say.
So true.
Because either of you guys, that would be so much worse.
Uh-huh.
But it would be so entertaining.
It would be.
Well, yeah. Well, anyway, the point is that bit was one of the, I think it might have been the first moment that Rosalind had this like, what? And then the second one, I remember very vividly, was on the like, I want, like, No, it was when Rosalind was like, oh, but you're talking as if you just go out and kill people. Cause
I want them to know that they're alive only because I allow them.
Yeah. Because first of all, before you said
Insane.
that ridiculous banger of a line.
Because you have a reaction to, I thought I wanted people to be scared of me.
Yes. Yeah. Because Talia obviously goes on about that, like, she liked that at first, the, like, people being scared of her. And it was Rosalind being like, oh, well, that makes us blah, 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 blah. And then Talia's like, oh, well, I wanted to go out and find people to kill. I wanted to hurt people. And I liked that I want people to know that I can, and I want people to know that they're only alive because I allow it. And that was really... the feeling I get even thinking about the moment of hearing that. Because that, I think, is when Rosalind stopped just being like, no, please, you're wrong, like, this can't be true, and was just so like, what? Like, I genuinely think her response was like, what? What? Like, what are you talking about? Like, it was so rough, but, like, it was so good, because that is what she needed to hear to understand. Because that, and then there's a moment later on as well, was when Rosalind started to see and connect the dots that Talia's kind of a villain. Like, not only is Talia not a good person, Talia... I don't want to compare, but, like, from Rosalind's frame of reference, Talia is kind of as bad as the Viscount.
Yeah.
Not as bad, but in a different way.
No, I know exactly what you mean, I agree.
The gendered violence is removed.
No, yeah,
100%. But that was what Rosalind, later on, when she had, like, a massive breakdown, and she was like, but that's what they do. That's what they think. She's referring to the Viscount.
Yeah.
She's referring to her father and the Viscount and all the demons and, like, just all of the people that have, like, wronged Rosalind and fucked her over. And that was what really made her realise, like, oh, you're the same as them. Like, it's not only that you're not good and you're not as good as I thought you were and you aren't what I thought you were. You are bad, and, like, you're the same as them. Like, people are only alive because I allow it. Like, that is something the Viscount would say. Like, you know?
No, absolutely. Yeah, it is.
And that's what really, like, got her. That's what destroyed her and, like, but made her have to realise.
Yeah. Bad. Stinky.
Awful.
Yeah.
Awful. That was one.
I'm glad you picked up on that too.
Yeah. Rosalind, the thing is, she's dumb, but she when she stops being dumb, she does have post-dumb clarity. Yeah. Rosalind has a lot of post-delusion clarity. And I think it's going to be interesting seeing her settling in and processing that over the next lot of episodes, because obviously we'll get there when we get there, but so much else happened immediately after this breakup that Rosalind definitely hasn't processed any of it. Like, she sort of, by the end of the conversation, she had accepted and realised the truth, but then I'm very interested in seeing what she does with it later on, because the conversation ended with Talia being really hopeful, because when you came and sat over here with me, that was when Talia was really like, but one day we will have this, like, I believe that.
We'll return to it like an old friend.
No, stop, because it was really...
Broke my own heart, to be honest.
I want us to be good, I want us to be like my parents. I really thought we were. I let you. Fuck me.
Yeah.
That's been haunting me.
Yeah.
I want us to be equals. I thought we were. I didn't. Has been haunting me.
Yeah. But in case anybody was wondering, Talia didn't think that she was better than Rosalind or that she was the one higher up. They both think that the other one is so much incredibly better than them. And, like, they've both sort of done the same thing in different ways. And that is why it's bad.
But what it has done is created a really weird toxic dynamic that sort of goes both ways, and it's just bad. Which they now both know. I think they've now both can see that.
I don't think you'd like what I do for you.
No, because what does that mean? What does that mean? That was one of the things Rosalind was really like, again, because that was later on in the conversation. That was when you were over here, I think. So Rosalind had already done a lot of the realising, oh, you're a villain. Like, not only are you bad, you're, like, villain level, but then it was the, like, what the fuck does that mean? Like, there was so many points where Rosalind was really like, as Rosalind, with her way of seeing the world and, like, what she would and wouldn't do or think is possible, what the fuck does that mean? Like, she so had no, like, and I still don't when I'm in Rosalind brain, not a clue, not a single concept or idea of an action Talia could be referring to. Literally not a clue what that means.
Murder.
And that's what's so scary.
The murder, crippling someone, probably like throwing them down a well, maybe.
The Eloise tree.
Eloise tree. Disembowelment, probably a bit of disembowelment. Drawn and quartered, perhaps. Probably beheading. Definitely some beheading in there for sure. We'll go back to murder. Double homicide for sure.
Serial killer.
For real.
Killer, yeah.
This is why Rosalind was really like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, why would you do that for me? What? I don't want that.
It'll make your life
That's the
better,
worst thing ever. Like, nobody wants that. What are you doing?
Talia is a serial killer,
Talia's Damon's mother.
She's not a serial
mass
killer
murderer all in one.
Serial killer, you have to murder 3 or more people.
She's getting there.
She's getting there, but she's not yet a serial
No.
killer.
She's only murdered one person.
Exactly,
She's
that's
got
more
one-
than most people.
she's
That is
got
more
one
than most
person
people.
before she gets to serial killer levels. She's fine.
I think if you have to count, that's when it becomes an issue.
It is bad.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's interesting. That's what I was saying. Is where we left off. Talia was very hopeful and very like, one day this will be good. And it was very, very odd to be playing Rosalind and to be the one who couldn't respond to hope and to be the one that didn't have any. That's such a turnaround. Like, I don't think I've ever really been in that position as Rosalind before, because she's been hopeless about certain things before, but that's always been like, you know, things very personal, her things, you know, like when she lost her hand, that was obviously a really bad time for her. But like, she's never been the one, it's just never been that intensely that way round before, of like, I believe we'll still be together, and all she could say was like, well, I just don't know what to believe anymore, and I just need time.
Yeah.
Because right now I can't. Like, but she hasn't had any time to process it. And that's what was interesting with, you know, when we were watching the episode back, it really got me when we were watching it. When Talia starts talking about Lilith and Rosalind literally says, I don't think I can believe in anyone like that anymore. Like, I don't think I can. And like, that's good. That is what she needs for her character development. It's just so strange to be playing Rosalind and have that, like, I don't know if I can trust or believe in anyone properly. Like,
I wonder
in that way.
if she'll listen to all of Talia's things about like, but you are what you saw.
Yeah, that's the other thing. I sort of, I forgot that, but that again, and that's I think what we're talking about when we say this conversation was healthier than it could have been.
Yeah.
Is that I think the reason it's healthy is that a lot of the latter half, the more hopeful, nicer half, became about Rosalind as a character in a positive way, in that like the whole thing, and I realised this like a couple of months ago, when I was listening to some Rosalind music, I don't remember which, but I had the realisation that Rosalind has become what she used to think Talia was. Like, how she saw Talia as a child is now what Rosalind has become.
Yeah.
And interestingly, Talia has a lot of the traits Rosalind used to see and hate in herself, which is interesting. Rosalind got it completely wrong.
Be the good you want to see in the world.
Yeah, well, yeah. And that is Rosalind's arc. Rosalind's arc is that, like, she is the hero she needed. Like, she is the hero she needed to believe in. And that's really nice and beautiful, and that's what her arc was always going to be. It's just, God, what a way for her to be consciously confronted with that. Because it's sort of been a subconscious thing, and it's been building up, and there was a lot with becoming a leader, and there was a lot of stuff at the end of Act 2. It's interesting that this is the most, like, textual, the most, like, explicitly somebody has said it to her, you know? And she can't argue with it. Rosalind, who's spent this whole show being so self-hating, is now at a point where, like, she actually can't argue with the good things being said about her to her. It's just really interesting that, like, the peak of her character arc here, of course it always was going to have to coincide with, like, potentially temporarily, but in this way, losing Talia, or losing, like, her view of Talia. It's so much. That's, oh God, that's so overwhelming, but it's so good. I love it.
Yeah, I look forward to. I mean, I don't. I mean, I do. It's so just like, it's one of those things where it's like, I look forward to seeing how both characters grow, but I'm just gonna, like, Talia's gonna get worse before she gets better.
Probably.
Probably. I'm so certain. I'm so certain.
I'll miss Rosalind over here.
Yeah, like, it's, you can have hope, but, like,
Rosalind doesn't anymore.
Let's be so for real. Now there isn't anything holding Talia back. So Talia's...
You're what's kept people alive! What does that mean, babe?
There's nothing holding Talia back. So Talia's going to, for a moment, for however long, maybe it's just one little fucky-wucky, Talia's going to do something that's going to make Rosalind go like, oh, I'm so now clearly aware because you're not hiding it in front of me anymore.
This is what I'm scared of. This is what I know is
I'm
coming.
very interested in this. And
she said
saying
she was
her
gonna,
impulses, because she didn't realise for a while that means saying the impulses in front of the people who are causing the impulses.
That's like, Frederick's going to be there and you're going to be like, I want to kill Frederick.
Yeah.
I want to rip his throat out.
Yeah.
Like you're gonna...
We're going back to see Georgiana.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I got really stuck on this the other day. I was like, fuck.
Poor little Seth is just gonna see Talia for the first time, be scared of her, and then just hear her saying, like, I kill them.
Seth doesn't get scared. Seth's too dumb to be scared.
Oh, my baby boy. I'm so scared for him.
Yeah, he's so dumb. We'll get onto that later.
We'll get onto Seth. The Seth of it all.
I am interested. I do think she is going to do it.
Me too.
And I am interested in what that's gonna do, not only for her and for Rosalind, but for like all
Everyone.
the people around her.
I'm interested in Richard and Madam.
I'm interested in Richard and Madam.
Madam.
And it's because my next point was I'm interested in Agatha. Who will either just
blanket and not be aware of it.
Or it's just gonna be like, what?
I am interested in Aggie.
Hello?
But womp womp for real.
I didn't...
What?
That's womp womp for real.
What was that in response to?
The whole episode.
Oh.
The whole episode.
For real.
Any other parts of the conversation you want to touch upon?
I'm just trying to think I think we've covered the main bits. I'm just trying to think if there were any specific
I can do a quick run of all the notes I've got.
I want to hear all your notes. I love your notes.
Rosalind is ignoring what Talia is saying. Toxic Rosalind, toxic Talia. These girls are selfish for different reasons in this relationship.
Yeah.
Rosalind, babes, you're wrong.
Yeah.
At least Talia is self-aware. In this conversation, Talia was good.
She was.
Rosalind was proper delusional.
Yeah, Delulu.
Delulu, yeah. The start of a healthy moving forward.
Yes.
But womp womp for real. They broke up. Happy birthday to...
Oh!
Yeah.
No. Can't sing that though, but it is Talia's birthday.
It is Talia's birthday. Yeah,
Lyndon's description
oh my god,
was so
gorgeous.
It really got me. And then I realised what he was doing because I thought that he was just doing the like, and today she succeeded on that thing. And then he was like, and I as a DM have sat on this for a while, and I was like, fuck you for this. For real, I know what you're about to do, and actually fuck you.
Yeah.
But that whole description was so beautiful.
It was gorgeous. Because it was saying today you passed that trial.
Yeah.
And so you get your birthday. Your reward is the worst birthday ever.
It's like a reward, you're 18.
I'm kind of sad that I didn't get to like have any time in it because like the episode ended and then we started on the next day.
Yeah.
Which was kind of sad.
But I just don't think she did much after that
Well, she
conversation.
didn't. She went and stared at a bottle of whiskey for like an hour.
Oh.
Not an hour, that's a long time. But
you always say a really long amount of time when you refer to periods of time.
or whatever strong liquor they have in the cupboard, which concerns me.
Probably gin.
They had gin.
Yeah.
Agatha bought a bottle of gin when she first went to the masquerade.
It
Gin's
does.
also just the most popular alcohol
Also
for the
that, yeah.
poor
The time
people.
period, yeah.
It does concern me vaguely.
I hope Talia doesn't relapse with
She-
with
ow.
drinking. She will.
She will.
But like,
Trigger warning for future episodes. We'll make sure that it's warned in advance. But
that might be.
She probably will.
Yeah.
Hopefully not for that long.
Yeah, it might just be a like final hurrah type thing, but that just never is what it is, you know.
No.
And I'm just interested in like the girls interacting moving forwards because it's like what you were saying is Rosalind's gonna see it now because now anytime, even without Talia saying her impulses, now Rosalind is aware. Now Rosalind will see it when Talia does something. And that's scary. And it's scary to think about Rosalind seeing Rosalind as one of the few people who knew Talia had a drinking problem and that it was an actual problem. Because that's going to suck. That's going to suck for Rosalind as well to see that and to not be able to help.
Yeah.
You know? Because because she actually can't. She's actually now like the one person who shouldn't try, you know, because they need to be apart for a bit, and it just is bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I can't wait for that to happen in Bledlow and for that to happen. That's fucking dumb. We're back now.
Episode 70.
It opened with
Row pluggo.
The rat!
Row pluggo.
I did not hear words then. I had rah pluggo.
Row pluggo. Right. You want to get your rats? Get them out of pluggo.
Duna's a rat?
Duna's a rat?
Duna's a rat.
It's so funny that for a brief moment, in Morne's reality, Duna's real form was a rat,
Yeah.
and not Duna wild shaped into a rat.
And that was like
Yeah.
the reveal.
That was the reveal.
you,
The reveal.
in that brief
The reveal for me
I don't
was
think
that
it.
Duna's
I think it's more of a case of like you hoped that was the case as well.
I mean, I'd love it
Yeah,
that way.
You sounded really happy. You were like,
Duna's a rat. No, babes. Try again.
The rat is Duna.
That was such a cool opening.
Yeah.
It
Lyndon
was,
popped
yeah.
off in the last few episodes.
It's
like,
such a shame.
It's just a shame we
couldn't
didn't
see
see
it.
his face.
Yeah.
Because he was doing really beautiful things. But the description itself was gorgeous. It was so
good.
we were so like, what the fuck is going on at first? Because at first I thought it was a demon coming up. Because he was like
me
a black,
too.
wet nose pushes
Yeah.
and go up at the plug
Yeah,
hole
me
of the
too,
sanctum,
me
and I was
too.
like, oh, they found a way past the walls.
Uh-huh.
I thought they were going to
I
get
was
attacked.
thinking as well.
And then
Because no, Duna isn't affected by any demons. Then I guess.
yeah, Duna's
Yeah,
not
that's
affected
true,
by the
that's
wards.
true.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Good point.
But in my head, I'm now like,
That's Conker.
Duna?
No, because that happened in the episode as well. There was scurrying up ahead.
Oh, the bird song in the conversation.
God.
Paid actor, just to go back real quick.
Yeah.
The bird song kicked in as soon as Talia got hopeful, and that was just like the birds
Oh,
outside.
cute.
Yeah. It was really gorgeous.
studio location popped off.
Anyway,
But
Duna's a rat.
Duna's a rat. What was I going to say about that? So I presume she's some kind of druid. If we're talking on D&D
Yeah.
classes,
Yeah.
like
I-
which makes
Which makes sense because druids are healers sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and
Druids
Very
can
like
bring-
naturey.
and in terms of build and flavour can be quite like witchy vibes.
Yeah,
no,
Yeah.
absolutely.
For a
'Cause it's like
Regency England
tinctures and
setting.
herbs and shit.
Yeah.
Tinctures.
Um,
Love a good tip.
But very cool to reveal that, I mean, what we did know, but like it's still cool. She is bullshitting with this. I don't know about magic. theory."
Yeah, oh, absolutely.
Like,
it's one of
great.
it's
I
one of
love
those
her.
things. It's one of those good things as well that because this is if this was like a home game, you would just get the news that Frederick is awake and you wouldn't
Yeah.
know that's how it happened. But because of the beauty of it being an actual play,
Yes.
Lyndon was able to give that
Gorgeous.
scene for the audience.
I love
and
it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It was so good. It was such a good way to open an episode.
Mm-hmm.
It was so... I was losing my mind. It was so good. I love Dana. She's such an interesting character. Every episode I'm more and more interested in her.
do you know what does make me sad?
Mm.
It's really close to the end of the conversation. Talia was like, "You'll be the first face he sees,"
Yeah.
and Rosalind was like, "Yes, I think I should be." And
Yeah.
then literally the next episode opened, and it meant that couldn't happen. And I as soon as I said it, I was like, "Oh, that's not going to be possible now." And I was like,
Yeah.
"Fuck's sake!"
Yeah, but it was very
It was
cool how it
gorgeous,
happened. And yeah, the way Lyndon described Frederick waking up, and this is when I get very devastated about the lost footage because that was the first time actually right at the start where you saw Lyndon playing Frederick was because he's describing Frederick waking up and then he goes into like, but I was with Gilbert. No, no, Gilbert was gone. I was here.
This
These
isn't
aren't
my
my
room.
pajamas. And then he gets up and goes off in search of answers. Mwah. What a beautiful opening to an episode.
Yeah.
Gorgeous. Obsessed.
I think it's really. I think to go back on the Rosalind not being able to be the first person that Frederick, and I think that is a direct consequence of burning down
Bedlam.
Bedlam.
Yeah.
Yeah, which I think is great.
Because had we got a cure from Bedlam, which is interesting because that was a promise Talia made that she wanted to do for Rosalind, and Talia's actions meant that wasn't possible. Which is also just like great, like face consequences,
Yeah.
babe.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
So
yeah,
good.
Yeah.
I wrote Talia being the first to find out about the vial is fun because I didn't know what that could have meant because if Talia could have just hidden it.
yeah.
She almost did. She wanted
Yep.
to. She.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, there was a bit that I thought was very interesting. Again, I'm sort of jumping ahead a little bit. But when you came and you got Rosalind and showed her the vial, and then we found Aggie and we told you what was going on. What I thought was very interesting to play as Rosalind, you know, the first day after your worldview falls apart and you see things for what they are, was you start yapping to Aggie about like, well, what should we do with it? Should we burn it? Should we throw it away? Should we save it in case it happens to one of us? And Rosalind was really stood there being like,
well, no, because
what the fuck are you talking about? This is my decision and it's going to one of them to save the world. So you're talking nonsense. Like, and
but
that was
one of the ones where like Talia obviously wasn't seriously suggesting any of them because she knew that it was Rosalind's choice, but again said that she would say all of her impulses.
Yeah.
So she was just like,
yeah, it was interesting.
Yappa.
But anyway, back to where we were. Because you had a whole bit with Diamond.
you did.
I did, yeah.
Before any of that.
Yeah, so during the conversation that you two were having in episode 69, I rolled a little d3 because there were 3 people I wanted to talk to, but I didn't know who. That was Harold, Albert, and Diamond. I rolled it landed on Diamond. And so I realised this about 2 days later. I now know what I want. I wanted to talk about rogue stuff.
That makes sense.
Right.
Yeah.
Not at all what happened.
Instead, you like did some character development, which is
is
good.
I think like what happened, like I was just in the middle of a sentence and my mind just went.
Yeah. That's what happens
Like,
sometimes.
and I couldn't, and like I said, it took me 2 days to remember. And it was just, Diamond mentioned being a rogue in that conversation, and that still didn't like...
Yeah, Diamond mentioned that she'd killed people. She used to be an assassin, which is very cool. Love her. Diamond is so cool. I love her so much.
That's when you have a moment like that, trigger words don't work, apparently. So the conversation went very different.
It's interesting that Aggie can only do character development once when you forget that's what she doing. It's not intentional.
Yeah.
So do you want to know the thing that I'm not going to shout at you.
Oh, no, you are going to shout at me. Okay, what did I do? What did I do?
So the conversation was great because the conversation was a lot about Agatha talking about like I want to actively make choices and do
it was very
things.
much like I was like, okay, I can't remember what I wanted to talk about, so I'm just gonna monologue.
Absolutely,
so
but like it was a great conversation because it was like
did end up being
it was great
great.
because Agatha was very much like I want to do things. I want to not just follow. Like because that's what I've been doing my whole life.
To rebel.
Not just to rebel, but it's
Yeah.
like I want to actively make these choices that like benefit not just me, but
because Agatha has done what Martha's told her to do her whole life, and then when she did rebel, that made her a drug addict. She went to going to the brothel actually ended up being good,
Yeah.
but the
impulse
was
and when she went, she didn't know.
I am glad. I thought it was really, and I was proud of Agatha for being able to acknowledge, looking back, that like even though it ended up being a good thing, that was bad of her to do. And like she literally said, I only wanted to do it because it was sinful. Like I just wanted to do things for the sake of being bad.
Yeah.
But she sort of realised that's still kind of doing what Martha wants. It's still kind of acting because of somebody else.
Yeah.
And I'm interested to see where she goes.
Yeah.
and that was all great, and then it was immediately followed up by you doing an action that someone else suggested.
Wait, what did I do?
Diamond was like, "Shall I kiss you?" And Agatha going like, "Go on then." But Agatha didn't want to kiss Diamond. Agatha didn't want that. It was very clear.
You're so right.
That's what I'm saying. It was very clear. It was a whole conversation of like, I want to make my own choices and do my own things, and then Diamond making a joke and Agatha going, "Go on then, fucking make a choice, Agatha."
When I do think Diamond kind of said that as a joke. Like,
Yeah,
Diamond didn't
absolutely.
expect Agatha to do it.
No.
Diamond was just saying, because
Because
Diamond's a troll.
straight.
And Diamond knows that, and Diamond is also a troll. Like, Diamond's done it to both of Talia and Rosalind, but, like, because she's a troll, that's what she does. She doesn't expect them to say yes. And at least Talia and Rosalind are both gay. Like,
Yeah.
at least they're less
That is so straight girl coded.
Yeah.
It's
Uh-huh.
Just be like, oh, okay.
Okay then,
Sure.
all right.
Uh-huh, yeah.
Brilliant.
So,
Aggie
yeah.
is so straight.
So that's my thing. I'm not yelling at
I
you.
can kiss
No.
the troll and it's
That's-
like,
okay,
more
no,
straight.
That's the one thing.
You're
That's
so right though.
Morne, I love you, and I love Aggie.
because it was a great conversation because it was good. It was good for Agatha to be like, I want to actively do things, followed up by not actively not doing anything.
Yeah, you're so
She
right.
wants something thrilling.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, it was
I thought
like,
saving the world was pretty thrilling, but I guess fuck me, you know.
yeah, but like that's not her choice, you know.
So she wouldn't choose to save the world. If she got the choice, she wouldn't choose to save the world.
It probably wouldn't be on the forefront of her mind.
What the fuck?
I'm going to fist bump you anyway because it's
Sorry,
dumb.
I wasn't looking.
Why is Rosalind the only person who wants
Right,
to
okay.
save the world?
If Agatha didn't know that her
Yeah.
dad and her family were part of this
yeah.
thing, she wouldn't go out of her way to save the world. You know?
Yeah.
She wouldn't go out of her way to do anything.
Exactly.
I love her.
It's like-
Pathetic Agatha.
See, and you're saying exactly, but that's exactly what the conversation was about.
I know,
Actively doing stuff.
I know, and that's what she wants to do.
needs to work
She
on.
needs to work on it.
It's going to take some time.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And yeah, she wanted to do
So funny.
something thrilling, but I think that was like a like out of anyone, I feel like Diamond would be the most game for that.
Yeah.
To, like,
Yeah,
just
yeah.
go out, see what happens.
Yeah. For
And
sure.
like, and it doesn't even have to be like anything thrilling, as in like bad. Just like, oh, we walked,
Exciting.
like we walk past this building. Let's go inside. Like just
Yeah.
those
Just something.
impulse
Yeah,
things. That's what she.
Scientology.
Yeah, Agatha probably would walk in. She'd be like, Scientology. Oh, let's go have a look.
Yeah, and then Agatha would get like locked into the cult because she's got religious trauma.
Yeah, probably.
I'm interested in if that will start to come up now that she's realised that like she wanted to do things just because they were sinful.
Yeah.
She sort of started dealing with her religious trauma and then she
Sort
just
of
sort of put it
she
away.
sort of ripped up a Bible and then was like,
Done with that now.
I've solved
but
it.
I think that's
Now we're gonna
very
see
in
Martha
Agatha,
again,
thinking
so-
like, oh, if I don't have the Bible, oh, problem solved, like,
Yeah.
and not actually like looking at it face value.
You know what's interesting? It's kind of Aggie being an addict still. Because, hear me out, Agatha, like, got Albert to take the laudanum away from her and hide it, and that solved her problem. She got rid of her Bible and stopped seeing it. Because what actually Agatha was, her symbol of religion was her Bible. She used to flick through it and pretend to read it all the time.
Yeah.
And she was drawn to doing that. Like, that was kind of her, like, cover-up, addicted, like, this is how I do it. And then she put that away and she was like, okay, fine. But she's still not really, like, looked at what any of that was for her as much as... She sort of did a bit with Harold when she was like, well, that ruined my life and you let it. You knew there was no God and no heaven. And then again, she just sort of, like... But then, to be fair, like, you did get distracted. Like, a lot of other things happened for you.
Yeah.
So.
And I think I have mentioned it before that she just hasn't processed it.
Yeah.
Like, I think I mentioned when Thomas died, like, she hasn't processed that, oh, he's actually dead, and it's
He's
the
not in
same.
heaven.
It's
Yeah.
the same with the religion. Like, she hasn't, like, she knows logically that it's not
Yeah.
real, but she hasn't processed
Yeah.
that fully.
Well, she's got one act left.
Yeah.
Sometimes I forget these are like teenage girls and then they make a decision. I'm like, fucking
Teenage
teenagers.
girls. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sick of them.
Yeah.
yeah.
So yeah, it was.
It was interesting.
It was a shame that I did have that moment of. Bleh.
Forgetting rogue shit.
Yeah.
That's fine. You got, hey,
And
you
it's
got a
just
long,
more exciting stuff that'll happen later.
Exactly.
got a
yeah.
long journey ahead of you.
Yeah. I was it was just, but like, because you did say to me, Taya, you're like, it's okay, we can take a break and we'll do something else and then we'll come back to it when you remember.
Yeah.
but I like knew, oh, I'm not gonna
Yeah.
remember,
No, that's
so I was like, I'm just gonna monologue.
Yeah.
And that's what I did.
It was good.
So yeah, that's
I did think it was very interesting coming from like a lot of our conversations of Talia being like, I'm not good, I just do bad things, and then cutting to Agatha who's like, I just do bad things.
But they're so the same, but so
Yeah.
different.
Like I
That's so
just think it's
interesting.
and I'm interested in what that's gonna mean
Because it's
For Talia
in the
and
future
Aggie.
for Talia and I, like trying if they want to be better people, what that means. with
Because
each
I think
other.
Talia and Agatha make each other worse people. most
yeah,
of the
yeah,
time.
absolutely. It's one of those things as well where the bad things that Agatha does is mostly harmful towards themselves, and the bad things that
Yes.
Talia does is harmful to other people.
Yeah.
yeah.
And
True.
that's the majority of the bad things, and they both need to work on that, obviously.
Isn't it interesting? One of them was raised as a woman, and one of them was sort of raised to be a son.
Crazy, isn't that?
It's almost like we have narrative themes on this show about gender and Regency
it's almost
patriarchy.
like it was deliberate.
Yeah, interesting.
But
like a creative
rolling
character
for
like
the kiss. In my head, I've been calling that rolling for bisexuality.
She's so
Which
straight.
like why?
I don't know. I just
we
thought it
knew
would be
this.
funny. I thought it would be funny.
What, you were just gonna make her gay?
Well, no.
I'm gay now. Goodbye, Thomas.
Wow.
Wow.
No, I just thought it'd be funny, like, to see if that would, like, change, like, seeing the dice, would that, like, change the...
What you felt
What
about
I
it.
felt.
But you were just like, no, I've had better. And she was like, how dare you?
Yeah, it was
you
like,
meant
I
to be
thought
a
you were
professional.
Yeah.
That was funny. That was really
top
funny.
tier.
I love Aggie. I love it when Aggie gets sassy.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was, Yeah, so it wasn't the conversation I necessarily wanted to happen.
But it was a good one.
It happened.
I actually think it sort of set up Aggie's Act 3 arc.
Yeah.
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 You
I think
know?
it needed to happen.
Yeah. So, blessing in disguise.
Yeah.
So make some choices.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she
She will.
Interesting.
Scared.
We'll see.
See?
We'll see. I hope she does. I look forward to it.
But also I did realise that after I had that conversation and like a few days later I was like, oh, but Agatha's like fortune telling was that she will have a choice.
Yep.
And it's like, oh shit, yeah, I've set myself right up for that.
And I literally said after the fortune telling, I think I said it in the last Teapot, I was like, well, I think it makes sense for Agatha's arc to end with having to make a big important choice because her arc has been that she is apathetic.
What the big choice was to kiss Diamond on it. That's what it was. You have a big choice ahead of you. Kiss a woman.
Sorry, I've just remembered I found shit out about Keybearer shit, but we'll get to that
we'll get to
later.
that when we get to that later.
I
That's
literally-
been on my mind. It's
Yeah.
we were going to talk about.
I know.
that.
It
Don't
just
worry.
like came back to me because I was thinking about Agatha making big choices.
Yeah,
I was
I
like-
am really scared what that big choice might be because it's gonna be
Kissing a woman.
Saving the world.
saving the world.
Saving the world really might come down to Aggie just for your character.
Which is
Yeah, and that's what scares me.
Ria looks concerned.
don't let Seth die just because Agatha's like, okay.
Well, no, because Agatha can't do that. Agatha's gonna have a choice, and she can't just. She needs to like think for herself.
Yes.
She
yeah.
needs to think logically, see both sides of the coin, weigh out the pros and cons,
Yep.
and that's going to be really fucking difficult for her.
I just like the idea of like decide now. Let me just get a list.
Yeah, I think
so
I think whatever that choice is going to be, I know it's going to be big. I think I'm going to have to spend quite a lot of time with an internal monologue,
Yeah.
hopefully on camera, because I think that would be cool.
Yeah.
Just talking about that,
Yeah. That would be very cool.
and it terrifies me, but it's gonna.
It's
gonna be
okay, I'm
great.
sure Taya will be dead by the time that happens.
What the fuck?
Yeah, I think it is something that, like, if that comes down to it, I think I need to be left in this room by myself so I have no other influence with a pro and con list. And I will just weigh out the options.
I just
on
like
I
the
don't
camera.
think you're going to get that chance, babe. I think you're going to have to just make a decision.
Just like the idea
We're
that
not
choice
all
going,
leaving the
choice
room.
going, everyone get out, because then
3 hours where you just sit down and
because Lyndon will go no.
Lyndon will be like, Agatha, make your decision.
Lyndon will be like, the clock's ticking, the world's about to end.
Because not making a decision is a pretty big decision.
Yeah.
That's actually so Aggie cool to put off a decision by just trying to think about facts.
Yeah.
Like, no, babe.
It's giving.
That's not happening.
Trust your gut.
It's giving Chiddy from The Good Place. Just wait.
Aggie is kind of... Trudy is kind of Agatha's, like, in that sense. The decision fatigue is
Yeah.
real. I love him.
Well,
Leave you alone in the room for hours to make
I don't think the audience want to watch that, but
The
on
Patreon cut off 3 hours of Morne sitting there with a pen and paper going,
well, no, because
Occasionally you're like crying.
I would discuss it. I wouldn't just be sat there in silence.
I know. It's
Okay,
just
but you
funny.
know how also you can just like say your internal monologue out
no,
loud
that's
to
what
them?
I was
Yeah, but we don't need to leave for that.
Oh, fair. Okay.
That's so true. We're literally playing a game. It's so funny.
Yeah.
Like you can just do that.
But the
Role
thing
play,
is
innit?
that I don't want any external influence.
Okay,
I want
we
it to
won't
be.
say anything then.
Yeah, and you
Yeah,
know,
but
you
you
can't
make
promise that.
faces.
You can't promise
You
that.
make
Your face is
faces.
saying
two
that.
of us actually come from.
You can't do.
We'll turn away.
You can say that. The amount of
Just put
time.
the dolls here instead of us.
I would just say this. I run a home game with these two as players. Sometimes I give a choice to one of the other players, and then when they're making the choice, those two on the other side of the room are like,
Yeah, and that's what I don't want because then I'm going to be dumb. Good, then
Yeah,
that's
no,
not
you're
going to be
right. You're
Agatha's
so right.
choice. That's
You are-
going to be Morne's choice, influenced
Yeah,
by
no, that's
Taya
true, that's true.
Taya and Maijai.
Okay, we'll be like this.
Yeah.
If that we can do it because it's for like the biggest decision ever, so we have to. We'll
Well,
make,
yeah.
That's
I'll
so
promise
true.
you now.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'll promise. I'll just go into Rosalind brain and do the thing where I'm sort of still in character while I'm not playing.
Yeah,
and I just
me
like
too.
sit here like this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, that's...
Anyway,
We've got time.
that is a problem for the future episodes.
Yeah.
When
it happens.
But yeah, you didn't actually get to go out with Diamond because we found out about the vial and Freddie.
I did think it was interesting that Dina woke Freddie up but gave us the vial for the Viscount.
Well, because I think she knew that was a choice.
Yeah.
Like, she obviously wanted Frederick awake or knew Frederick had to be awake. But she wanted us to be able to choose with the Viscount, which I just think is interesting.
Yeah. Because, I mean, she clearly knows a lot more than she
knows a lot, yeah.
And she met the daddy trio.
Yeah, she did.
So,
Harold got his bracelet.
Oh, yeah.
The fist?
I wonder where Harold put that bracelet.
He's wearing it.
Is he still?
He showed it to us when we were talking about going to Duna to ask about
he did.
cure.
Yes, he did.
I
remember.
Yeah, it is interesting.
Sending to Albert, which was a good little thing, like, oh, he's awake, don't worry about it.
Oh, that.
Frederick is awake and not happy.
That. Lyndon knows just how to say the right thing to make me go insane. He's awake and not happy.
Yeah.
Me every morning.
That's how I start my day.
Yeah.
No, but it haunts me. Like, the way, as Albert, like, it was said, and then the way Rosalind, like, repeated it to herself afterwards, haunts the fuck out of me. Awful. Awful. Horrible. Worst feeling I've ever had as Rosalind. That's the lie. But, like, it's up there. It's high up there. Awful feeling. And then knowing I can't go to him. He's in a space I physically cannot get into. This is my worst nightmare. And I know there's nothing I can do. He's gonna come here and I just have to wait. Like, I just have to wait and I know what's coming.
And it was one of those things where it was like, okay, someone needs to go to collect Freddie, and it was one of those things where it was like, it was another choice for Agatha to either go with Taya or stay with Rosalind, and I think both of them had pros and cons.
Yeah.
But again, Agatha didn't really make that choice.
Talia just left.
Yeah, but she's working on it.
Yeah.
That was the saddest. She's working.
Oh, baby.
It's like, yeah.
It's like, but like, you say that you want to do something, and
it's like Talia being a good person.
Yeah,
doesn't happen
you can't always just do it straight away because that's just gonna be so jarring.
It's just really funny that it was like you had that conversation and you immediately presented with a choice, and it was just like, I'll just kind of
be here.
I'll just be here, which is fine. I think because Rosalind needed support.
Yeah.
I also think
because
that Talia probably shouldn't have been alone.
Agatha did like ask Rosalind, "Is there anything like you would like me to do?"
Yeah.
Agatha wouldn't do that before.
That's true.
Like,
That's actually true.
Agatha made the choice to reach out and try to help.
Yeah,
and
it just so happened there was nothing she could do
and
in
yes,
that moment.
Rosalind didn't want any help, but Agatha still asked.
Yeah.
She didn't just stand there and do nothing, which is what she
And I
done.
do think, like, Rosalind didn't, like, it obviously, anyone being there or not being there wouldn't have really changed anything for Rosalind.
Yeah.
Because that's, like, the biggest moment she was always ever going to have to deal with, and it was always going to feel very insular for her. But I do still think it was nice, and and looking back on it, Rosalind will be able to appreciate that Agatha was there in that moment and willing to do something if there was anything that could have been done, and that because for a brief second Rosalind didn't want Frederick to know we had the other vial, and she was like, take this. So that was good. You were at least there for that.
There was a very small brief moment where everything was happening, and I was just like, is Agatha still going to go on a big day out with Diamond? He's like, damn, this is crazy. I have plans.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean anything to me.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Agatha looks at her watch. Like, no, she's got to keep mine!
She looks at her watch.
In her bread.
Her bread, yes. That's where I keep my watch too. In my bread.
It's how you keep your watch safe, in your bread.
Festival hack.
I'm gonna cry. I'm not gonna cry.
You're gonna cry in your bread.
In my bread, yeah. I'm gonna cry up here in my big old loaf.
big old loaf.
What was I saying?
Big day out.
Aggie's big day out.
Oh yeah, she was gonna her watch in her head and just be like, mate, I've got plans.
Sorry,
like,
yeah, this kind of sucks for you, but I got. It's one of those things where it's like, I think it's one of those things where it's like, it's quite alarming if I just go like this, so I'm just going to mime the action. But I think it'd still be alarming if I saw someone go, I'm running out of time without a watch.
Morne, I love you so much.
I love you too. But why am I like this?
Like this, why am I like this? Why am I like this?
My final note for this episode is big ups Harold.
Yes! Oh my god.
Big ups Harold.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Harold
For real,
MVP.
for real.
MVP. Every episode, I love Harold more and think he's a more great character and like.
You are my dad.
You're my dad! Boogie, woogie, woogie.
Agatha. Well, I just love Harold.
No, honestly, because the way it was described when you get to the sanctum and you can hear shouting, and they've clearly been shouting since the early hours of the morning, and Harold just like being a real one for the girls, for the masquerade, for the way everything's changed. Harold telling Frederick to grow up, one of the best moments of the show.
Because it's really like, from Harold's perspective, it's like, actually, these girls are the reason why I'm here. These girls are the reasons why you're here.
Yeah.
These girls are the reasons why we're all still here, to be honest.
Yeah.
So
They're the reason we have anyone in the sanctum and like part of the wardens anymore.
yeah.
And I think it just is really like a massive moment for the show of like, the point of the show was always the girls are going to revolutionize everything, change the old ways of the men and the patriarchy in this order. And Harold is actually the dad who we found first, but Harold is the dad who listened, learned, and adapted. Like, Harold not necessarily liked what was happening. He didn't, it wasn't anything he was used to. He was also benefiting from the old patriarchal ways. However, he listened and learned, and when his daughter sat with him and said, look, my life was miserable and you didn't help me, and he listened and he was sad and he was like, sorry, God, I did do bad, you're right. Maybe now I have a chance to do better. Like, Harold wanted to save his relationship with Agatha. He wanted to make things better. And ultimately, it's what Harold said, I think, at the end of this episode as well, is we've still got a job to do. Like, Harold still is like, well, I'm still in this order. This is how we can stay in the order and keep fighting. Like, this is how we save the world. Harold is so mature, and it shows how much Harold has developed and changed because of the girls. And, like, I loved it so much. And I loved that because of you going there, and the way it was, we got to hear Lyndon, like, doing that. And, like, he defended Taya, he defended you when Frederick was like, mind how you speak to me.
Ugh.
God, that was...
God, I want to kill that man. I hate him.
You're still on the same side, though.
Talia's
You can hate him as much as you want. You are on the same team.
Yeah, that's why he's not dead.
Talia isn't Gilbert, but at the same time, right now, she sort of is. Like...
I'm interested in what that means. Is it just that, like, she is a beast?
It's clearly, I mean, from my perspective, the only way she's anything like Gilbert is that she can turn into a beast.
Yeah.
Because there is nothing, apart from being ginger.
Well, for me, it's like that we need her on the team, It's that, like, she's one of us, Her dad's not here, he wanted her to take his place.
Yeah.
Like, cope,
Yeah.
Like, we don't have Gilbert right now, so you have to cope.
Yeah.
Grow up. Grow up was one of the best lines Lyndon's ever done.
Listen, I'm just glad that Talia didn't pull her sword on Frederick because she had it with her.
The thing is, I think if you did, I think everyone would be like, all right, we have to attack Talia because you're attacking a member of our team. It's like, even if Harold was agreeing with you, it's like, you are actively making the choice
Well,
against.
that's why she did it.
And I think it's also that, like, it would have been really rough for Harold, who just spent, like, 9 hours...
I was just defending you! I was just defending you!
Yeah. And I also just think in that moment, at least, I do think something's coming with Talia and Frederick, but I do think Talia... in that moment, at least, is so aware that this had to be a moment for Rosalind that she wasn't going to, like, interfere with that.
Well, yeah. That's why she was how she... Like, I know that she wasn't good, but she was very restrained.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, she wasn't nice to be around and she wasn't being a good person, but she was...
But she didn't do
holding back
anything
every
bad
impulse she
explicitly,
had.
Yeah.
She just, like, had some sarky lines at him.
Yeah.
Which I think is fine.
Yeah.
I agree.
Because, like, they've never got on. Like, Talia and Frederick have always had a bad relationship, and he's always thought that she spoke out of line and has been out of place, and she's always known that and done it more at him.
Yeah.
So, like, it's not entirely... It's just more, like, explicit now.
Yeah. Because now it doesn't have to be this restrained, nice, family, proper society thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Next episode.
Oh, God.
Nat 20 perception is my first note.
Oh, yeah.
Cold, hard stare slightly softens looking at his daughter. Bummer, bro.
Bummer, bro. That's rough. Do you know what? It's really imprinted in my brain the way Lyndon describes him walking up to the front door of the masquerade, and the way me and Lyndon described them both kind of doing the same thing. Of like they're either side of this door, and I think both of us described that they stand up a bit taller, like they ready themselves for it, because it really destroys me how much Frederick and Rosalind are in fact narrative foils and parallels of each other in certain ways. It wrecks me. It's very surreal that I feel like this is how you must have felt when Harold woke up and you had that episode with him, because it's really that like, oh, this is what the show has been building towards for me. Like, I mean, this show was always going to have 3 massive scenes, and it's each of the girls confronting and seeing their dad again, and they were all always going to be so different, and it was so surreal to get to mine. It was, and I remember you at the time with the Harold one being like, I can't believe this is happening, and that's sort of how it felt. I was really like, what is it?
Yeah.
But yeah, Frederick walking up to the masquerade and Rosalind being there and just readying herself for it was so much. I love her so much. Shayla! And the thing is, I'm so proud of her. I think she handled the whole conversation the best she could have. I think it was one of the episodes that more than anything else has shown who she is as a person at her core, her growth, how far she's come, where she wants to go. And I think what I'm really proud of is that she took a lot of the conversation with Talia into the conversation with Frederick and worked proactively off of it. With Frederick as somebody who she also, since very early childhood, had up on a pedestal the same way as Talia, just with different context around it, who that slowly fell apart for her over the last few months. She brought what she'd learned from Talia into confronting Frederick. Like, there was a bit, this is really jumping ahead, but there's a bit where when he's saying, I think you would be offended of why I used to be proud of you, and she was like, well, I think I should hear it. Because there's a bit in the conversation with Talia where Talia's like, oh, well, I can list my impulses, but they're not going to be nice. And Rosalind was like, no, I think I need to hear it. Like, I need to hear these things now. Like, she's no longer hiding from hard truths. She wants it. Like, she wants to know what was bad so she can move forwards. But yeah, I'm so proud. I'm proud of her off the bat. Because Frederick walked in wanting a team meeting. Frederick wasn't going to acknowledge the issues with Rosalind. Frederick wanted to come in and immediately get to business. Yeah. And he gave an order and Rosalind said no. And I'm kind of speechless about that and her. Like, my Shayla, you know? That's the first time she's ever said no to her father. And then she was just like, no, this is what we're gonna do. She was like, we're gonna go in here and talk first. And and the imagery of them sitting down at the table opposite each other has really, like, there's just so much. There's so much. I'm trying to remember, like, how the conversation started, but very early on it was about her hand.
Yeah, it started off with the seeing, because I'm assuming, I mean, there's a lot of things that Harold probably informed Frederick of. Yeah,
and Rosalind knew that, which was a good starting point, because I didn't have to be like, here's everything that's happened.
Yeah,
you
no,
know?
Exactly. And it started with
but yeah, because she knew that he was coming in knowing what had happened to her. And she knew, and that was why it was so scary, was that she knew he was coming in and she actually hadn't been in control of those bits of the narrative that were about her. And she knew he probably knew about what happened with the Viscount, and she knew he probably knew about Lilith. And those were the two things that were, like, terrifying. And he was like, show me. And that was awful.
Frederick's eyes moisten at the sight of Rosalind's stump. Yeah. It's one of those things where I've got the note in here, Frederick is a human being.
Yeah.
Because it's one of those things where so I'm going to say things, and this isn't for me to try to, like, justify his point of view and stuff. This is just realistically
but
what I think.
But he is a very complex character.
He's a complex character. He has clearly raised Rosalind in a way that women should be raised in her point in society. He has, from that point of view,
Yeah.
done all the right things.
Yes.
He has done all the right things.
Done a very good job.
He's done a very good job at doing what he's doing because he does, in his own way, care about his daughter.
Yeah. The thing is, he loves her. Like,
Yeah.
and I believe that, and she knows that.
Yeah.
That's just the way he loves her is no longer how she wants to be loved or thinks of love. And that is sort of what she got to later on in the conversation, is realising and understanding that.
Yeah.
Because it's not that, you know, Frederick and Georgiana are very different relationships, but with Frederick, it wasn't ever that he loved her on a level less than the boys. He had to love her differently.
Yeah.
Because you loved a daughter differently. A daughter is kind of more like a pet. You know, it's more like that. Because that was her whole thing, was when she was little, like, she did get affection from her dad, but he didn't talk to her. You know? She got gifts. She didn't get the one-on-one that the boys would get. You know? That's, with Frederick, the way Rosalind felt excluded and lesser. But that was correct for Frederick at the time. You know, he was raising a daughter the way proper fathers in society would have.
Well, Rosalind needs to be protected.
Yeah.
Because Rosalind's a woman.
Yeah. And
Women
what would they have to talk about one-on-one? Why would they spend more time together? It's a woman's job to raise other women. Girls are raised by their governess. They're taught by a governess. They're taught by their mother. You know, the father is very hands-off with daughters. And that's what Frederick did. And he loved her the way that he loved her, and the way that, you know, you love a daughter in Regency England. And she knew, like, but it's so interesting playing Rosalind because her whole arc has been sort of the inherent trauma of girlhood, and that, like, while Frederick did do things wrong, he was not, by modern standards, in any way a good parent to her. By modern standards, he was bad. But, like, by Regency standards, he was a good father to his daughter, and that traumatized her. You know, like, that was the story I was always telling with Rosalind and Frederick. And yeah, getting to see it come to a head and I'm so fucking sad it's lost, because Lyndon's performance as Frederick was gorgeous. And you could see so clearly from the first moment that this is a man who loves his daughter, who cares about her, who is hurt by the things that have happened to her. As much as he has all of these other issues and other feelings as well, you know, regardless of any other feelings he has, that, like, the eyes moistening at the sight of like, it really is, no, he is sad for her, you know? It is
interesting as well, because I'm gonna put something out there, and you guys are gonna get angry at me when I first put it out there, but then I want to explain myself. Out of the three people, the Viscount, Talia, and Frederick, I think at their core, Frederick is a good person. Yep.
I agree.
I think he's a better person out of the three of them.
Because
I agree.
I think for me, what it comes to is that he's not selfish.
Yes.
Because the rule, and I understand, I don't agree with the rule, but the rule of sometimes you will have to leave someone behind, that rule was created knowing that he might be the person left behind.
And he was.
And he was, in his own way, accepting and okay with that.
Yeah.
Because the greater good comes first of all of humanity.
Yeah.
Which makes it really interesting that out of the three people that pattern is, how that it diverges in that way.
Yeah. No, because I agree with you, because I obviously have been thinking a lot about this in the recent times, because of course. And it's so interesting, and it's so interesting for Rosalind now to be like, even though Frederick is the relationship in that pattern that has defined her the most and has defined her story the most, that has actually been, he is the best person of the three of them. And she knows that. And I think both Frederick and Rosalind, and this is when I come back to them being parallels to each other in different ways, is that the thing they do have in common, and that I think they very clearly understood about each other by the end of that conversation, was that both of them want to save the world and will put that above anything else. Yeah. Both of them will put being a fair and just leader for the people who are looking up to them in front of their own feelings and choices and desires. Both of them will put aside their personal shit to save the world. And that's what they have to do, because that's why Rosalind, I think Frederick was confused by it, because he was confused by a lot of the conversation, because he didn't know what to expect from her, I suppose. But why Rosalind's whole goal throughout of it was, we can be colleagues, and we have to be, because they both know, regardless of their personal shit, the two of them, if nobody else, want to continue this order and save the world, because that's what's most important.
And it was really interesting, and I know this isn't going to be fun to hear, and it's not fun to say, but there were aspects of that conversation where I was like, wow, yeah, Rosalind really is Frederick's daughter.
Yeah, for real.
Yep.
For real.
And it's beautiful, and it's sad, and Rosalind has all of Frederick's best qualities. This is what gets me, and it's what gets me. I'm really gonna cry. What gets me is that, so from the start, a real thing for Rosalind, and it was a real thing in the beginning, in Act 1, was the way Rosalind was at home, and the way she was when she thought she was just gonna have like a normal Regency woman life. She was so determined to do the best at that, right? But yeah, the thing about how she was way back when, and leading up to the decision to leave and look for him, was that deep down Rosalind felt not that she was better than her brothers, but that she knew there was something in her that she wanted her father to see. Rosalind, as much as she genuinely believed she had no worth and was like this useless decorative object, she also knew, and the way it manifested at the start was that I will be the best at that. I will be so good at that. I will be better than anyone else, and you will be so proud of me. But like her whole driving force was like showing Frederick her worth. Like at the start, it was her worth as this like nothing, this object. And that's why she was like, well, I'm going to make the best marriage possible. I'm going to climb so high societally. Like everyone's going to think I'm so beautiful and I'm so perfect and I'm so accomplished and I'm so kind. And like she worked so hard for that. And then she left. And like deep down, she's always wanted to sort of show her father, in a sense, that she is his heir, and that she should be, and that he should look at her the way he looks at his sons, as like people worthy of inheriting what he has and of like carrying on that lineage. And she got there because she is of his 3 children, and she said it to him. She is the one who is most like him. She is the one who did what he would have done. And I think she said in the conversation, there was a bit where she was like, Archibald didn't look and he didn't find anything. Edwin didn't look. I did. I was the one who found what you had left. Like, of your 3 children, I'm the one who's here, and you now have to deal with that, you know? And it's so beautiful for me looking back on where she started, which was sort of wanting to do that and wanting to prove that. And she came to it in such a better way than she was ever going to. Which is just beautiful, given that she spent most of Act 2 thinking that by looking for him and doing and losing everything she had and doing everything that she'd done to find him, she was going to lose any hope of that. And that's actually not what happened. But again, what she said was that she did all of that for him and for that purpose. And then she was sat with him, and what she realised is she actually didn't really want anything to do with him, and that she didn't need it anymore. And I really... Because it was the monologue she had at him when he was feeble-minded.
Yeah.
She said, she kept apologising. And she was like, I hope one day I'm not sorry. Maybe one day I won't be so sorry. And then she sat in this conversation, and when she started like laughing, and there was a point where her tears were happy tears. And there was a point where she was like, I'm not sorry. I'm not sorry anymore. Like I don't need to apologise to you. I don't want to. I don't feel sorry anymore. Like she reached it by the time he was awake. And I don't know if she would have had she not had the conversation with Talia. I think that made her better and stronger. I think it made her more aware of everything. Yeah. It made her more aware of her own strengths and the fact that she can rely on herself, even if it's because she has to now.
Yeah.
Like, it was beautiful. And there were so many moments in the conversation that were gorgeous. But to go back to the beginning, it started with her holding him accountable for her hand. And that was mega. That was wild. Because again, it was that he was sad, you know, he was very clearly like upset at the sight of what had happened to her. And he did the thing that a Regency man would do, a guardian of a woman, as I will kill him for you. I will avenge you. Like, and she was like, no,
you don't get to do that.
Like, that's mine now.
Yeah.
And he was like, I feel responsible. And she was like, you are. And you know?
Yeah, pop off.
To get to actually look him in the face and be like, yes, you should have done more. This happened because of you, in a roundabout way. you should have known. And to be able to say to him, I didn't know what was going to come out of her. You know, obviously I've thought about, I think we all think about the moments we're going to find our dads and what might happen. I'd never really considered the possibility, because I knew there would be talk about that, because it is his fault. He did allow the Viscount into her life. He allowed that trust to build, and he didn't look into anything when he knew about all the supernatural shit. But the thing I didn't think that she would hold him so accountable for or talk so much about was about what she went through after she lost her hand, because that was when she was at one of her lowest points on the show, and it was because she was so convinced Frederick would never love her. She was so convinced that, like, oh well, I'm so ruined now in every aspect. I've lost his ring, I gave his ring to the enemy, whatever, like, and on top of that I also will now never be perfect societally again, like, he is never gonna forgive me. And it was realizing that, and she was like, actually, like, I can't believe that happened to me. That happened to me, and all I cared about was you, and, like, I never want to be like that again. And he was mind blown. Like, I'm so sad you couldn't see Lyndon's face as Frederick, because Frederick didn't say a lot during a lot of the conversation. He sort of let Rosalind have what she needed. But Lyndon's face was doing some gorgeous things. There was confusion there. There was some anger. There was some there was a lot of or you could see Frederick not understanding, trying to understand, slightly getting it on some bits, and it was beautiful. It was gorgeous.
Shame we'll never see it.
Yeah, sorry lads. But you will probably see a lot more Frederick stuff in the next few episodes. But
the only other thing I want to mention, and that's just a fun thing for me,
yeah.
You said at some point in the conversation, done with gods now, but then I put in brackets, yeah, but still chill with Lilith, I assume.
Yeah. Well, this is why I'm now very interested in what happens with Lilith next, because I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know how she's going to feel about Lilith now. I'm very interested in next time she sees her, because Rosalind has now done so much work on that, and I'm so interested in how that manifests with Lilith, because she can't get out of it with Lilith. This is the thing. Whatever she sees that relationship as, whatever new understandings she may have of it, whatever changes might happen, she knows that to keep the power she has, she does still have to play nice with Lilith. And she wants that. She likes being a warlock. She likes this power that she has. She likes what it's given her. She knows it's necessary. So she doesn't want to get out of that in that sense. She is now at a point where I just think that's going to be really interesting, is how she navigates having to still interact with somebody who she sort of has an element of that dynamic with, but it is very different, because she went into this one knowing Lilith was probably bad. So I'm Rosalind is aware that it's messy and it's complicated, but I am very interested in just how she is with her, or even internally, because I'm not sure how much will be different externally with Rosalind and Lilith. I'm interested in if Rosalind has different thought processes or ways of approaching things internally, because I think it will be different, regardless of if it's just different in terms of Rosalind's understanding or the way Rosalind is approaching things.
Yeah.
Or even just Rosalind being more self-aware, but something is different there, because it has to be. And I'm very interested in that. But that's the other thing that I did want to say on this, was the bit where Rosalind just started coming out. The bit where Rosalind was like, my soul belongs to a demon and my heart belongs to a woman. And, like, what
and I am Rosalind, like Madonna.
No, because this is the thing that's making me giggle.
Because that was so beautiful, and I didn't think that until you pointed it out afterwards.
No, what's making me giggle is, so when she, like, reintroduced herself to Frederick, and she was, like, listing these things about herself. 1, gorgeous, 10 out of 10, I can't believe she did that, I'm so proud of her, she's the best ever. And 2, interesting, because Frederick, I think he didn't say anything on the warlock subject, because that is the hardest thing probably for Frederick to deal with and to broach, and I think that's coming later when Frederick is more prepared and they've got more time alone, and I'm scared. But no, the thing I realised is, so Rosalind is not a Penhallow anymore. Rosalind is also not a Bronten. Rosalind introduced herself as Rosalind because that's her name, and she wasn't doing, like, she wouldn't have full named herself anyway, like that, you know, that's just not what she would have said. However, it did get me thinking, currently Rosalind doesn't have a surname that she, like, vibes with, so currently she is kind of just Rosalind, like Madonna, like Cher.
Heathcliff, Rosalind.
So that made me giggle. I'm interested in future stuff with Frederick, because she did get most of it done beautifully. She didn't quite get to we're not family. And I know why. Like, the moment wasn't right for that. That was not the conversation for it. And I think part of that is because she allowed him to go on his spiel about the fact that he loves her and that he has always been proud of her, just in the way that now offends her, which is just gorgeous phrasing. Like, wow. But it's, you know, because of that, it wasn't the right moment, you know. She wanted to let him have that in the way that he let her have things in that conversation too. Because it, you know, she knows that he loves her. It's just going to come to a point when they're talking more and they're defining what their relationship is, because she doesn't want one beyond being colleagues. And she was clear about that at points, but I just think it's going to be more of a thing later. And it's just interesting to me. But there were just a lot. That conversation was just gorgeous. There were just so many things and moments where I've just never been prouder of her.
I enjoyed. I realised that I don't feel anything about you.
Yeah, because he was like, I think he said something about, I'm sure you feel resentment for me, or I'm sure you're angry at me, and she was like, I don't feel anything at you, which is so freeing after this whole story. All her arc has been is feeling things about her dad, to come to this point of just like, she's kind of moved on. Like, she's kind of past it now. Like, she's done it. She's dealt with it.
Yeah.
And seeing him and talking to him in person was like the final letting go of it. And because it was what made her realise, oh no, I don't feel that anymore. And I'm not sorry anymore. Like, my Shayla! My Shayla! And then what I'm really proud of her for, and I think is really interesting with the dynamics for everyone and where it's going, of who is the leader of the order
Well,
right
I
now?
think we all know who the leader is. It's just one person seems to think that it's somebody else.
Because it was every time Frederick would say something, then everyone would wait for Rosalind to okay it before they did it. I was like, this is so good. And it was Rosalind as well, again, so proud of her, not budging on her role in the group anymore. Because, you know, even a few episodes ago, Frederick would have come in and Rosalind would have stopped saying things in the meetings. Rosalind would have just been agreeing again. No, Frederick would say, Rosalind, the group came in for the group meeting and Rosalind was like, all right, Lord Penhallow is here. This is what he's going to say. He's got information for everybody. So we're going to listen and then we're going to do this. And then he said it and everybody listened. And then he would give an order and everyone would look at Rosalind and then she would be like, yes, no, that's okay. That's what we're doing. And then, like, it was so fucking good.
Because I think there are some people in the order who think that Rosalind is the leader. I think there are also some people in the order who think there is no leader. We're just following the best decisions at the time. And so either way, either Rosalind's in charge or no one's in charge.
Yeah.
No one apart from Frederick thinks it's Frederick.
Yeah. But this is the thing, because Frederick wasn't necessarily a leader type. Frederick is simply the highest ranking, so as a man who is the highest ranking, he sort of naturally takes that role. He was the leader of the Fist, right?
Absolutely.
So he was the leader of Harold and Gilbert. He was never actually high up in the Brotherhood.
No.
This is my thing. He was the High Protector, you know, we learned a lot more about that in Fathers and Failures. Frederick was the leader of the Fist, which was a very high up respected position. I'm pretty sure he wasn't even on the Inner Council.
No.
So... Whereas Rosalind is somebody who very clearly, you know, we've lost so much of the order, there isn't really a High Protector anymore, but, like, Rosalind is very clearly in the role of, like, above that, you know? Rosalind isn't somebody who's, like, a member of the Fist. Yeah. Rosalind is, like...
Rosalind isn't the leader of the three girls.
She's the leader of the Wardens. Yeah.
The only thing that I could see someone having a valid... argument for why Rosalind shouldn't be the leader, and it's like literally the only one thing is that you are working with a demon who may not always have the order in the best. That's the only argument. That is valid. That is the thing.
But then what do they call it when there's sorry, my arms are cold, so I'm using my body heat to warm up my arms. You know, like when a king is too young, so they have someone else.
A
regent.
The Regency.
Oh yeah.
Some might say the Regency era.
Like, I think Rosalind would need someone like that. So if there was ever anything where you can't do it, at least there's like a second in command.
Yeah, there should be a vote of like a couple of people in charge. I think it should realistically be Madam B, Rosalind, Harold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I think that's fair.
I think that's a fair. If there's 3 people to be put in charge, I think it should be those 3 because Harold. Because Harold
At
has
the
some.
moment, Harold has the clearest view because Frederick, and I think Lyndon described it really well. Because again, Frederick is a very realistic, complex character. He's not just like a bad guy. Frederick is waking up to a very different world, and I think he said it like Harold had time to adjust to it.
Yeah.
Frederick has woken up and been told there are whores in your brotherhood now.
Yeah.
You know, like. As a Regency man, that is bonkers to grapple with.
Yeah.
There are whores and your teenage daughter is here. Like, what the fuck? You know?
The one person who could potentially replace Harold in that is Gilbert when we find him.
We'll see.
Maybe.
We'll see.
Depending on how he is, because I don't know anymore.
Yeah.
But I just think because, like, Gilbert's smart.
Yeah.
Like, Gilbert
Yeah.
has intelligence.
Yeah.
Which is what we need. And like Frederick's kept saying that, which is interesting.
Yeah.
You know, that's the only thing on if Gilbert is good and how I think he
But
is.
no, this is like what it means by like a regent then. Like Harold is
Yeah.
just filling in for Gilbert in that case. Just
Kind of.
for the time being.
We should just do a vote.
Yeah.
All right. I do want to
Key bearer shit.
keep going. Yeah, with the key bearer stuff.
Yeah.
Ritual law. Key bearer in the Pentecost bloodline.
Rosalind was really like, what do you mean key?
Yeah.
So something in the way back when ritual, because thing is, we've always known the Pentecosts didn't get magic. The
Yeah.
Pentecosts are the lineage that didn't. The Brontons got the family curse. The Brontons got the taint. The Penhallows got sorcerer magic. But the Pentecosts are the key, and we have to protect them because that's what Frederick really was stressing. Was like. And as Rosalind, I so felt it, the importance that Frederick knew what he was talking about. And if the Pentecosts die, we're kind of fucked. Which is so interesting. What does that mean?
We'll send Albert home. We'll be like, Albert,
Yeah.
go get on Jane. Keep
Make
the line
more
going.
Pentecosts!
Yeah.
Come on, get the babies
Turn
out!
them out!
Turn them out, Albert.
But I also think it's very interesting narratively for Agatha to be like we were saying, like this very important thing. Because she's always sort of got away with not having to be that and like shying away from it. But like, and Rosalind, I'm interested in Rosalind speaking to Agatha about it because obviously there wasn't time because everyone came in. But Rosalind was like, oh, like I think I said something to you. I remember saying something to Agatha because Rosalind is like, oh, well, we need to, I think she was like, oh, which I know more about now, I think. Because you kept pulling the keybearer card and now that sort of is clicking into place.
Yeah.
I'm so interested in what it means.
Yeah.
And it's going to tie
I
into your
did
big choice, bet.
Oh, obviously.
Because it's your big burden and the Pentecosts are so important.
Yeah.
So interesting.
Which is. Yeah, once, like. It's weird because it's not a real key. I know that for certain. It's a. Well.
I just like the idea of like, it's fine, you got the
You
key.
are a key.
Harold dying and being like, look after this. Yeah, I mean, it's just, I just
Oh,
think
I
without
had
the
a-
Pentecost, there's going to be no more powers. Like that's, which
Yeah.
is bad.
Yeah.
We'll just do a new ritual.
See, I was...
Yeah.
No!
But that does.
See, I was thinking about that.
That also means that like the 3 of us now need to be like protected in
Yeah,
a way.
you do. That's what Frederick was saying. It's like, we need to
Well,
protect the Pentecosts.
only one of you needs to be protected.
I guess. Yeah.
Although-
Protect Albert, he's more likely.
Well,
to have
that's what I
kids.
was about to
He's
say.
He's
yeah.
married.
Oh yeah, true.
Like.
Wow.
And Aggie said that she doesn't know if she wants kids.
Yeah, but
Albert
that
better not die now.
that is coming from like a trauma thing.
Yeah.
Though.
Albert dies, I'm so sorry. You are going to have a child.
That's so funny.
The best thing for that child, though, is to send it off to an orphanage in another country just so the other 2 bloodlines can keep going.
That is
Wow.
true.
Yeah.
Well, no, because this is my other thing. If is like, I do like. Obviously, I understand having all of them, but actually, surely one of the safest things to do would be to like send them away.
Well, that's probably why, I'm going to tell you, there's probably why, I forgot his name, Howard had 2 kids.
Yeah.
Because Albert was always going to be in the Brotherhood.
That's
And in
right.
case something happened to Albert,
There's a spare.
Well, yeah, but there was also one of the reasons why Martha is so overprotective of Agatha is because she was. I think we wrote into the story that they were trying to have more kids.
And
it
they
wasn't
couldn't,
happening.
Yeah.
And then Agatha finally came along and then almost died.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I didn't know this.
No, yeah, that's been
Lore
the...
drop.
Yeah,
I thought we
I remember this.
Yeah.
Maybe you just.
We discussed it in character creation probably because
Probably, yeah.
I've never heard
But
that.
that
I
is-
wasn't there that day.
Yeah, so that is the law of that. But yeah, but Albert...
Does Harold not have any siblings?
I don't think so.
I don't
I don't think so. That's ever been discussed.
know.
Interesting.
Yeah, because Harold. Yeah, like it makes so much sense.
Hmm.
Like it's so.
I would
Yeah.
have to consult the family tree.
I don't think he does. I'm like 100% sure he doesn't.
I don't remember.
But yeah.
Well, otherwise, because it wouldn't be an issue.
Protect
You know.
the pentacle.
But also, like, Albert... Well, no, because Jane can only get pregnant every 9 months. So, yeah, just...
Still a lot. Like you're not gonna.
Yeah.
Hey, that's still like a child a year. That's a lot
I
of
was going to
kids.
say, Albert, like, could make more kids. But then I thought, but Jane can... Like, Jane's also part of that.
Well, that's supposing that he...
Albert can make a lot of kids.
Oh, I guess, I suppose. Yeah.
I just think
little
Albert. I
pencil.
just think Albert's deeply in love with his wife.
Yeah.
That's my headcanon.
Albert and Jane love
Because
each other very dearly.
he hasn't shown any signs of wanting to.
That's
be on
true.
dates.
He
Yeah.
hasn't.
He truly
actually
hasn't sat-
been interested in any other.
He hasn't been interested in any other woman. The one time he was just kind of like, oh, there's a lot going on here, and not paying attention to any of the whores working.
Yeah.
I truly believe he's in love with his wife.
Yeah, it kind of does seem that way.
Yeah.
Monogamous guy.
But then there also is... Like, is...
Monogamy.
But is there like another ritual? Because then that's like the whole like, I mean, that's the problem with like royalty and stuff like that, is that it's only in the bloodline.
Yeah.
Like it's not inclusive of anyone else. So is there like a way that other people can also be part of that, or does it just have to be this bloodline?
So actually, if the Pentecosts do die and we do lose our powers or something, maybe that's the theme of the show, is back to like opening stuff up for the world, you know? Because here's the thing that I've realised. I don't know if I should say this. I don't know, because we might be completely wrong. Like our theory on like maybe we lose our powers if the Pentecosts die, that might be wrong. If it is, I'm still a warlock.
So true.
If it is, I'll still be a spellcaster.
You
Yeah,
will lose a lot of levels.
I would. I'd be like level 3.
Yeah.
But like,
Better than nothing.
you know, I can still use that, which is why I have to be nice to Lilith still.
Alright. Pause. Continue.
A stray DM appeared.
Good crawl, but I think even the front of the table is.
So that would be funny.
Oh no, you should have done that.
Yeah, it's just crawling around on the floor.
Cool. Anyway, so we'll just keep going and pretend that's not happening.
Yeah, so anyway.
So, also at the meeting, talking about the whole ritual, having to return where it all began, which is
Ledlow.
To not answer that question and to
It's
do
not a
different
question,
point,
is it really?
is to Frederick trying to be a leader. He's still very like, I know what we're going to do, and I won't share that with any of you. Just there will be a ritual of some sort.
Well, you have a journey ahead of you.
Yeah. And
Yeah, I
I
can
also
talk.
just think he's very business.
Yeah.
He's very like,
Yeah.
that's not the time for that now, you know?
I just think it's like very reasonable for like Rosalind to be like, hey, you should share it with at least one other person in case
Yeah.
something happens to you again.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Well, she will. This is the thing. Like, there's a lot more to come. I'm interested in what we're using the Viscount for.
Well, yeah.
Because Frederick was like, oh, well, we'll give him what he wanted. Like, he'll be used in this ritual. I feel like we're ritualistically killing the Viscount, which is fun. I'm interested in that. But that, again, is why, like, Rosalind is going to be like, hey, what's going on here? Because that's what's going to help her decide to wake him up. You know, is whether or not it is morally okay to leave him unconscious for whatever we're doing. I do think she's going to wake him up because I just think she thinks it's going to be easier and better. I think she feels that's what she has to do. Like, I don't know. It's hard to articulate. She has reasons. I think that is what she's going to do. I do think she's going to talk a little bit more about, like, what might happen to him first. She just wants to know the situation.
Yeah.
And also she wants to know what she's telling the Viscount if she wakes him up.
Also, do you think it's morally better or worse to wake him up to sacrifice him?
Rosalind doesn't know. This is why she wants to know
I
what
think
this
it's
ritual
better
is.
to leave him baby brained.
I wouldn't say
Yes,
morally.
but Rosalind's whole thing with any sort of revenge on the Viscount is that it's not satisfying if it happens to him or his baby brain, because he doesn't deserve it in that moment.
Yeah.
When he's the guy who groomed her and cut off her hand, that's when he deserves it and it feels like justice.
I just think, if we are sacrificing him, we shouldn't wake him up until he's there.
Yeah, so that he can't fight.
Hey babe,
fight his way out of
welcome
it.
back. Welcome back. I'm going to take a couple of steps this way. You just stay right here, babe.
But also, he's not going to know that that's what we're doing, even if he's awake.
Yeah. Just don't tell him of the
Like, why would we be like, we're taking you to die? We're going to be like, hello, come back to Bloodlow to meet my mother and to save the world with us. So it has to be done in Bloodlow.
Yeah, but like it would just be so much easier to keep him not arguing and just take him, tie him up, do whatever we have to do, and then wake him up and be like, well, we've got everything. Are you ready to die now? Dead.
That's just not how Rosalind does things.
That's not very satisfying. He
It's
needs to
not.
suffer for a bit longer.
The thing is, Rosalind still has a lot more to say to him. Like, I just think there's just a lot more to be done with the Viscount yet. Like, it doesn't feel anywhere near finished. It doesn't feel ready to be concluded. And Rosalind just needs to know what's going on before she makes a decision. Because currently, like, she doesn't know what's going to happen with him.
And at the end of the day, it's Rosalind's choice.
No.
Well, that's gone.
Wow, okay.
At the end of that is Rosalind's choice.
But however, we are going back to Bloodlow. That has been agreed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will say I do need to have a conversation with Lyndon about what Seth knows and what Seth has witnessed, because currently the knowledge that we have about Bloodlow is that Martha's there
In a coma.
in a coma.
Yeah.
The
fish is still
Albert came
alive.
back and said that she was in a coma.
Sucks.
Well, I don't think he
You're
said
yourself into a corner.
I don't think he said in a coma. Like,
Well, yeah,
She's in and out of consciousness.
she's in and out of consciousness.
Sometimes she's in a coma-like state.
Yeah.
But she comes in and out.
But that was ages ago.
That was a while ago.
Everything could have
Maybe
changed.
she's better now. Maybe Georgiana stopped poisoning her. That's my theory.
Yeah. Georgiana was definitely drugging
Georgiana
her.
was 100% drugging her. Like, what else could Georgiana do at this point?
yeah.
It's
But she was telling
So
everyone we were sick, and then suddenly you're dead.
Yeah, this is what I find is really funny, right? Okay, so this is when I'm like, Georgiana is a cunt. I don't feel sorry for her. However, if I were to feel sorry for her, this poor woman, because like, so here, right, put yourself in her shoes, right? Okay, your husband goes missing. Okay, whatever. You're still kind of in control of the situation. Everyone just thinks he's away on business. Okay, your eldest son goes after him. Doesn't come back. Fuck. Okay. Still slightly under control, and I've got these 3 girls here I'm looking after. All 3 girls fucking vanish. Okay, great. I know where they've gone, because I know my daughter.
they've all vanished, and the door to the father's study is broken open and bashed inwards.
Yeah. So, like, you know where they've gone, right? You send Jonathan after them. He comes back, like, failed. He goes back, whatever. You don't really hear anything from him. You don't know what's going on anymore. And then your eldest son, like a month later, comes home as if everything's normal. It's like, oh, I was just arranging a marriage for Rosalind with this Viscount. Okay, did you want to maybe tell me about that, please? What else happened to you? Nothing. He's kind of weird now. Something is off about your favourite son.
He drinks wine now.
Something is weird about your special boy. Okay, whatever.
Him and Edwin get along better now.
Yeah. So strange. Okay, and now there's this marriage notice in all the papers about your daughter. There's also, you know very well as a woman in society, probably a bunch of papers calling her a whore, because this marriage was arranged very fucking quickly. She's not out in society yet. That was supposed to happen before she got engaged, okay? So this is all kind of fuckery. Whatever. She's having a big engagement party at Almax. Cool. Almax burns down. Your daughter and her new fiancé are now dead.
There was also a bit of information in there somewhere in the middle there of getting information about losing a hand because of a horse.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah. Somewhere in the, oh, she's a slut, oh, she's engaged, oh, she's lost a hand.
Yeah.
But was all of this just tabloid gossip? Who fucking knows? Because you've not seen her. And then Almax burns down at her engagement party. She's dead.
And then she's gonna and then
she
coming back,
rocks up.
she's coming up with the 2 other
The two other
girls.
kids you lost.
Your husband, who's been gone for however fucking long at this point.
His mate Harold.
And son.
The
The
fiance.
entire Pentecost family is just
Yeah,
The fiance of your daughter. a whore,
A brothel owner.
a brothel madam, a whore, and a bloke. And a bloke with a bunch of navy tattoos.
The daughter's ex-girlfriend who's just like randomly saying all the things she wants to kill every 5 minutes.
And it's going to be funny because I need to talk to Lyndon and find out what
How
Seth
are you feeling
knows.
about Seth coming back?
I'm scared because I don't think he's living.
Waited the whole show for this.
It's just a case of like how quickly Lyndon's going to kill him off. Realistically.
Lyndon's gonna wait for the most painful moment.
Oh yeah. It's gonna suck because the thing is I know Seth as a character and I know because unfortunately
boy.
Seth is too dumb to get scared. That's what Seth's experience has been because
a 15-year-old boy.
well, that's what it is. It's he's too dumb to be scared. He's before the girl he's left got filled in his head of what a man should be. Considering his name is Seth Man, it's really stuck with him.
Okay, Rosalind is gonna try and make that better. You know that. She's gonna try and fix her error.
So before they left, he got these ideas of his head what a man should be. Gonna see these people.
Sorry,
come back.
bruv.
He's gonna be too scared to realize that his life is potentially in danger. And then he's gonna be like, well, a man's job is to protect the women. Because that's what men should do. And he's gonna put himself in a dumb situation that he shouldn't be in. And then die.
Listen, I'm gonna try so hard to save Seth. I'm gonna try so fucking hard to save Seth's life.
Yes, the little boy with 4 hit points.
He's got 4 hit points,
I
guys.
wonder if I bottle up
good
the
though.
blood from the font and bring it back and force feed it to Seth, what would happen?
Possibly. I mean, you can try.
You can certainly try.
Okay.
What?
Agatha is currently in the Brotherhood getting supplies.
Oh, true.
So
Hey, babes, bring back some of
If
the
you've-
liquid.
I think Albert has the stone.
The
Did
sending
Albert?
stone's already been used today.
I have sending, but you would have to then speak to Rosalind to ask to
Also,
use one of her
Talia
third
needs
level
to
spell
care about
slots.
other people for that to be a thought that she has. So
True.
Wow.
Okay.
I'm scared of Seth coming back.
Well, if the blood wasn't on Agatha's list, she's not getting it because Agatha
she
loves the
doesn't make
list.
any decisions of her own.
For fuck's sake. But yeah, I'm going back to Blood Love is going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting because the thing is,
Scary.
in my head though, with the lies Georgiana has told, like I still think you guys are like sick in bed at home. Because there's been nothing about you guys, and like Rosalind has tried
true.
the whole thing. Rosalind's whole thing has been protecting you guys, and they still don't need to know where you guys are. So, as far as Georgiana's aware, you guys are still missing. Like you ran off, and Rosalind ended up with the Viscount. Like you know, because that also makes
'cause
sense.
we haven't
When you
been
think about the
together.
girls and how they left, if any one of them was gonna give up on the Ark and just get married to a rich man,
Yeah.
you know, like that is what Georgiana would be like. Yes, Rosalind would have done that. You know,
It's
so.
it's just going to be interesting because Seth knows that the girls are probably not sick at home because
Yeah.
Seth was
Seth
there.
was in the house.
Seth works in the house, but also was there the night, like literally an hour before you guys left. Witnessed the same things you guys witnessed
Yep.
in the horror
The
room,
demon room,
the demon
yeah.
room. Witnessed the same things you witnessed.
Father's evil.
Why would he have such unholy books?
Yeah,
Act 1 Agatha, what a creature.
and also
you
was
are.
Should get you
Do some proper shoes. What's wrong with the shoes I have on?
and was also like the
Me?
No, that's Talia and Rosalind.
Oh, right. okay.
Sorry, continue.
as I was saying, it was also the one who was unintentionally the one to send Agatha out on the quest.
Yep.
Completely unintentionally
Yep.
was the one who was just like,
Uh-huh.
hey, don't
Do you think your father's
you think your
evil?
father's evil? Which is vindicated
Bang
by
on the line.
found out that Harold is probably the least
Yeah.
shitty father. No, I stand by that.
No.
I stand by that.
Really?
I agree.
I stand by that because I think
Gilbert
Gilbert's
wasn't unintentionally shitty.
yeah.
Gilbert was nice and fun. He did spoil Talia
parent.
and not raise her to care about other people.
Shit parent.
Yeah.
Great person, shit parent, and I'll stand by that.
I agree.
I stand by that to the day. I've felt that since the beginning, and I'll feel that until the end. I do not care.
Harold was just.
Harold
Absent.
was apathetic.
Wow, it runs in the family.
It's almost like we're telling this story about family cycles. Isn't it?
But yeah, favorite part from these episodes. Favorite moment,
God,
just to wrap things up.
my whole conversation with Frederick. all of it. That's what her arc has always been building towards, and she did it in a way I could not be prouder of her for.
Yeah.
Whole thing.
Oh, the episode ended just before we get onto this, but the episode ended with Oliver being dead. Carry on. Assumed. I'm assuming he's dead.
If Oliver is dead.
Yeah, oh
If
shit.
Oliver is, I'm going mental.
I forgot that
It was one
I'm
of-
going to have to deal with that.
Well, it's one of those things as well, that was happening, and I could see that it hadn't registered on your face, the scene, like, what had been happening, because it's like, oh, he's resting, and, like, Lucas is dying, and I'm like, holy shit, the dog is dead, and you're just like, sleepy doggy.
Why would Lucas be crying, rifling through all his books with the dog on his lap? I know. It's okay.
Don't know. Sometimes I have my dog on my lap and I'm just crying, rifling through books. Like, that's just...
You're not a
you don't have
character on an
magic.
actual play.
You don't know magic.
I have a theory, though.
Maybe,
I don't
but I don't believe you do.
I don't think the dog's staying dead.
I'm hoping he doesn't.
I think Lucas is trying to find a way to come back.
Yeah.
I think it would be really cool
Necromancer.
for Oliver to come back as, like, a familiar.
Yes.
However, Agatha already knows that when you bring something back from the dead, it doesn't come back
Right.
right.
That's
You bring
what
a
they said about
person back
Thomas.
from the dead.
Because a person has a level of intelligence that a dog does not.
Dogs don't have souls.
Wow.
They do.
But is Agatha going to think that deeply?
Is Agatha going to think?
Agatha in a, like,
Is Agatha
grief
gonna
trauma
care?
response.
Agatha's going to be like, oh, I lost someone too.
She's gonna be like, why can't my boyfriend come back? Maybe she'll go mental. That's kind of scary. I hadn't thought
I
about that.
don't know. It
fine.
hasn't happened yet. Agatha doesn't realise Oliver's dead
Well,
because
yeah,
I
right.
didn't fucking realise.
I just like the
he's
idea
dead.
of you walking in, seeing that, and being like, I need to go pack up our stuff.
Hi, Lucas. You're all right. Lucas, why are you crying?
There's really such a chance that Agatha just like gets all of her stuff and leaves.
It's like, Lucas, we're going to Bledlow. Do you want to come along?
My dog!
All right, we'll see you when we're back.
Like, she might not even tell Lucas, because why would she tell Lucas? Lucas isn't going to come. Like, there is genuinely every chance that Agatha goes and gets her stuff and leaves and, like, doesn't acknowledge it.
Well,
Then
we'll
Lucas
find
will
out
be in
next
the
week.
Brotherhood by himself.
Lucas is always in the Brotherhood by himself. That's all he fucking does.
That's
That's not all he does.
I
Yeah,
think
but no,
That's
he
not
has
what I
Oliver.
meant.
He has Oliver with him.
I
Like,
think
But there's a chance that you don't realise that Oliver is dead at any point.
Mm. I think you will.
I think-
Because Lucas is going to be like, my dog's dead.
I think ultimately, if Agatha, even if Agatha doesn't realise, Agatha is not because they're caring, but because they're logical, should be like, hey, you're going to be alone for a couple of days.
That's true.
and also he is trying. Like
Agatha tries sometimes.
I think she would be like, oh, Lucas, what's wrong?
She's going to be like, oh,
We're
can I get you anything?
we're just prodding
Yeah.
you because I want Agatha to care.
Funny.
Can I get you a water?
Can I get you a cup of coffee?
Do you want a dog treat for Oliver?
Oh dear.
Sorry, I didn't realise.
I'll leave you to that now.
Yeah,
Is your shirt buttoned up wrong?
probably.
Oh no, it's not.
Oh.
It usually is.
Favourite moment?
All of the Frederick conversation.
Favourite moment?
I did like that, but I also loved the Talia Rosalind conversation.
Oh, yeah,
It was so
that too.
beautiful to watch. Devastating, but really good. So
I think, I mean, those were really good moments, but I think my favourite moment, the moment that elicited the highest response from me, was Harold telling Frederick.
Yeah. That
was
Harold
brilliant.
telling
Yeah.
Frederick to grow up
Yeah,
specifically.
because it really, because the conversations you were having were like beautiful, long conversations
But
to
for,
show
like, a split
how your characters have developed.
Mm-hmm.
That was a quick moment of like
Yeah.
grow up.
Yeah.
No, that
was a quick moment of, like, great.
I changed
No,
my answer.
that's up there with mine. That's like equal for me.
Yeah.
It was like mine with Frederick. And
If
then
I had
also
to
grow
pick
up.
like a short moment.
Yeah, like that's
Yeah.
because obviously my favorite moment was
And
the
I am Rosalind. I am Rosalind.
I am.
My soul is marked by a demon and my
Yeah.
heart belongs to a woman.
Yeah, like my
Yeah.
long. I mean, the conversation with Rosalind and Frederick. That's
Yeah.
it, like that's elite top there. But I think my favorite.
Quick
was
moment.
that-
Yeah, no, I
was that.
agree. That was so good. DM, you're in the room. Do you want to give us your favourite moment from these last few episodes?
No, not yet.
Okay.
Fine.
I'm very busy.
Do you want to give any comment to the people who watch Teapot?
Hold on.
Interesting.
To your britches.
Okay.
Because things are getting moving quickly now.
Just a question from me to the DM. Plans for Seth?
Yes.
Great.
Closing thoughts?
I can't wait for next time. I can't wait to play. I can't wait to go back to Bloodlow. I guess I need to start listening to some Georgiana music again, which I stopped listening to after episode 5 because Rosalind just decided that wasn't her problem anymore.
I'm scared. I'm frightened. I'm shivering.
It's
Quaking.
fucking cold.
It's very cold in the studio
Yeah.
today.
My toes are numb.
I'm scared for Bloodlow.
Yeah. Martha.
Yeah, consider my timbers shivered.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For real.
But I'm so excited. I can't wait. Get
I'm
it.
so excited.
Get it.
Because I don't even know if I want to have a
Get it.
conversation with her. Like, we'll find out. But I'm scared.
Yeah. We've only ever seen Martha in the show before, like, in your mind. Like, in dreams and memories. We've never seen the real Martha Pentecost on the show.
No, yeah, that's so right.
Because it was the same for Frederick until Fathers and Failures, and then
Yeah.
this. I'm very interested.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting.
It is. Closing thoughts?
I am excited to be back playing.
Yeah.
Seth.
Hopefully very soon.
It's gonna be well. It's just one of those things where it's like Seth is now interacting with very different characters,
Yeah.
and I've decided how he looks different slightly.
Oh. Well, puberty goes fast when you're a
Well, that's the
you're a
thing.
young lad.
I mean,
had
he's
a
a late
growth
bloomer.
spurt.
He hasn't hit
Yeah.
puberty by the time he reached 15, so he's
No.
definitely. There's been a busy couple of months.
Hey, Shayla, baby boy.
He's just gonna come back and be like, I have hair.
Why would he say that?
Not to you guys. He's gonna go to Rich and be like, you look very hairy. What's going on?
Just bold.
Bold here.
Oh, mustache. Yeah, he's got a hairy chest for sure.
Yeah.
Oh,
He's got
yeah.
his big moustache.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's gonna see. You're gonna see
You
his
could
little.
say Richard is bold mustache.
You could say. Anyway,
Thank you
thanks
for watching.
watching. Give us a like and a comment and a subscribe if you can, because it always helps. Give us any predictions you have.
And yeah, let us know how you think Bloodlow's
And
gonna
if you disagree with anything I've said in this episode, don't at me. Don't at me.
Just cope.
Just comment and
At me, I'm interested.
At me.
yeah.
I'm always interested in what you think.
Yeah,
Hey.
don't at me because you won't change my mind.
Oh, you won't change my mind. I just want to know.
Yeah, I just want to
I live for the drama,
Just
so.
chat to me. I'm here.
Until then.
Submissive
and subscribable.
Mwah.
Bye.
I can't believe that is a thing.